turn the mute off there.
Hi.
There you go.
I'm Levi.
Levi, did you just shoot this competition?
I shot this morning,
You
actually.
did?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And how did you do?
I shot a 587.
Nice. Nice.
We'll start in like 3 minutes.
And how long have you been shooting, and have you been shooting for a while?
I've been shooting this shoot for 3 years.
Okay.
The first year, I was with a hunting bow.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, the last 2 years, I've been shooting a target bow.
Okay. What bow is that?
TRX 38.
Okay. That's a good bow.
Yes, sir.
All right. So what club are you shooting for, and where do you live?
I live in Port Lavaca, Texas,
Okay.
but I shoot out of STX Archery.
Oh, okay. Out of Victoria.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, so we'll go switch over to the other kiddos here. Go ahead and look at the camera, guys. There we go. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Avery Rowland.
Avery and
Landon Rowland.
oh, brother and sister.
Yes, sir.
All right. So tell me, you guys, what type of bows are you guys shooting? Where are you guys from?
I'm shooting a Matthews Prima. We're from Salina, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm shooting a Matthews TRX 36.
36. Both very good bows. So how did you guys do today?
Not very good at all.
Yeah, not as
Not
good as we
really?
were hoping.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, most archers, even if they win, they're going to tell you they didn't do very good.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me, how long you guys been shooting?
I've been shooting compound for like 6 months now.
Okay, just
Yeah. Yeah, I've been shooting for about 5 years, I think.
Okay, you've been shooting
Just
a while.
over.
So what were you shooting beforehand? Before 6 months, or you just started?
Yeah, I
getting
was
into it?
shooting traditional.
Okay. So why the shift to compound?
That's what he did, and then all of my friends did it, and so I was just like, I can't be lame. I have to do this.
Hashtag don't be lame.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. So you guys drive in last night or early this morning?
We drove in last night.
Okay. And you guys, when did you guys shoot?
We shot this line.
Yeah.
You did this line. All right. So how many times have you guys shot this shoot before?
This is my second year.
Yeah, this is my second year as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you guys, go ahead.
He won last year.
Yeah, I went on juniors last year in compound,
Okay.
but didn't do too good this year.
Well, you're the youngest in the group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. It takes, that's the one thing I've realized, like you go from that I'm really good to very humbling.
Yeah.
You move up to that
it's
next
rough.
division.
Yeah.
So how old are you guys?
I'm 18.
I'm 14.
And what about you?
I'm 15.
15. Okay, nice range. So what's your plan for school and all that stuff?
I'm not sure where I'm going to go, but I want to go into content marketing, markets for some hunting companies, some
Okay.
archery companies.
Okay, that's cool. And where'd you guys say you guys were from again?
Salina, Texas.
How far away is that from here?
5 hours.
So it's a good little drive.
Yeah, we're like way up there, North Texas, like 45 minutes from the Oklahoma border.
Okay, way up there.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you guys think of this shoot compared to some other shoots that you've shot?
I like it.
Yeah,
There's
it's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, there's some good prizes, good
Yeah.
people.
Good prizes is
Yeah.
definitely something that they do.
Yes.
And a few years ago, when the rodeo had 60 archers, and after that, it was male and female that shot together, and they decided to give away some money. Oh, we're live. I wasn't even paying attention. Go ahead and flip it over to us.
I was going to have a sip of coffee.
Hey, welcome everybody to Raising an Archer. We are here live at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and this is the final day and time for qualifications.
That's right. And then this afternoon, and
Well,
you've
go ahead.
got me
I
muted.
didn't. That's your job. That is your job. Yeah, the controls are like in front of you. And you're going to try to blame me.
I'm going to start pushing buttons.
Yeah.
All right. So this afternoon, we will go into the shoot-off. That shoot-off is for almost $90,000 in prize money. This is amazing. This is big time.
This is big time.
Yep.
So at the end of this, we'll know where everybody falls. All divisions, top 4 move on to the finals, except for the compounds. I think that's the easiest way to explain
Compounds
it.
top 8.
Compounds are top 8. So if you are on the bubble, watch those numbers. There are average arrow counts, and that's one way to kind of take a look and see if you're gonna make it or not. I know some of the divisions, there are 6 or 7 people shooting at it, and they're only taking the top 4. So keep an eye on that. Okay. Compounds. I know that some of the compounds are guaranteed, but there's still some of them 2 to 4
That's right.
that could get bumped out because of the amount of archers that are shooting
Right.
this morning.
So don't leave town.
Yeah, don't leave town. Stay close. Stay close, or get over here, and you'll know. When it ends, they're going to they're going to verify all the scorecards, and you'll know top 4 will be moving on to each division, and then they'll announce what bail you'll be shooting at and how that will go.
And
okay?
the shoot-off will be at 1 o'clock, or if it were to run long, which it did not yesterday, if it were to run long, it would be 30 minutes after the final elimination.
Yep. Right now, it's
Not elimination, the final qualification.
Yep. So how that's going to look too. So you're going to have the juniors are going to shoot all the way till they have their grand champion. All right, and the seniors are going to shoot until they get to the final 2. All right. So if you lose and go to the bronze medal match, you will shoot that one, and we'll know if you're in third place. Okay. The final 2. Then we'll move on to the big stage. We'll have platforms. We're going to have all eyes on them.
That's right.
It's going to be exciting and fun. So all the seniors, that's how the finals will look for you guys. When you make it, if you make it to the final 2, it's a big deal.
Yes,
and
it's
going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
You guys will want to stay tuned for that. If you are new to this, and you're like, what is going on? I see those targets down there.
There's 2 different kinds of targets.
2 different types of targets.
I don't understand.
We're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my iPad here real quick, so you guys can see that's what a single spot is. There's 2 types of targets down there, and we'll show both of them to you. And what this looks like, you have an X and an outer ring, and that is a 10. So if you hit an X and you hit right in there, it's a 10. And how they call these is if you shoot here and it just touches that line, that is still a 10. They'll always go to the highest number, okay? Then 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then if you shoot outside, miss. Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that would be a 0 if you shot out there. When I'm going to go ahead and move to the next target. This is the other target you'll see. Let me go ahead and turn on edit. It'll look like this. Same type of scoring, but it'll only go down to a 6. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And if you shoot out here, that is a miss. And unfortunately, it's a 0. All right. The other thing to note is if somebody shoots an arrow here and then shoots an arrow here and then accidentally shoots one here, that is not okay either. Okay, that would be a miss. You would take your 2 lowest scores. So in this case, it would be a 10. So how this scores, you go 10, 10, 9. So that would be a miss. That's how it scored, 10, 9 miss. Okay.
No one likes misses,
No one likes misses.
especially for $90,000. Not all for one person.
Right. But that's the quick rundown on how scoring is going to look for these archers. Good stuff. Very good stuff. Let me go ahead and get my iPad put away here. Just leave it down here. Nope, not going to leave it there. Can you put that over there for me? Just out of the way. So these kids will get 3 practice ends to get ready, and then we'll go right into scoring. If you are looking to find out what the score by score is, that is going to be on eyesonscore.com. So if you go to eyesonscore.com, the website, you click on the top right corner. If you're on your phone, it's 3 little lines. Looks like a hamburger from what Wendy says. Click on it, and then click on live scores, and then you'll see this tournament. Just click on it, and then you'll be able to see all the live scores as they come in after each end. If you're on a computer, you'll just see it. So you just pull it up, and it'll be like live scores. Click on it, and that's what
Boom.
These scores are live right now.
You can see Jeff Dabney, our DOS for the weekend.
And he'll be the DOS for the shoot-off as well. So when we get to the final 2, it's intense. They'll have a coach. We'll have arrow agents for them, and we'll have judges, and then we'll also have an agent down there that will verify scores with the judges when they're down there. So the kids, the youth, will stand on the platform and not get off the platform until there is a winner. Should be a lot of fun.
Normally is.
Normally, yeah, normally. If you're looking down there, you'll see different types of bows. Those are called Genesis bows. Those are all the same, so they'll have the same rest. They'll have the same bow. There's 3 different types of Genesis bows, but they're only allowed this type. So there's a mini, there's a regular, and a pro. The regulars are the only ones that they can use. And hold on, I got somebody walking up asking me a question. Ryan, if you need something.
So we've got the Genesis bows that he was talking about. You can see there is nothing attached to them. There are no accessories for that. And you can see that young man right there has, he is shooting with fingers, bare fingers. We've also got the compound bows, and that's any other bow that has what a lot of people just slang term is wheels, but they are called cams, and they may have a stabilizer. And then we have also bare bows, and we have recurves. You can see a little bit of everything right there. You can see the one closest to you is a compound with those stabilizers. It's got a sight and a scope. There is another one. And you've got a recurve right next to her. That archer likes to shoot with the sticker on her blinder.
Who is
all
that
the
kid?
time.
Who is that kid?
I don't know. Who is that kid? That would be my kid. She is shooting this morning.
So there's about 60 archers shooting this morning, roughly. And that will top us off. We had a little over 300 archers sign up for the weekend. This group will be narrowed down quickly. I haven't done the math on it, but let's see. There's 16 divisions, right? With male and female.
Juniors and seniors, male
Yep.
and female.
So this will narrow down about 80 archers. So when this thing is done, there's about 80 of those archers that will move on to the finals. And it will be a shoot-off style. So what that means is you'll have first shoots against 8th, second against 7th, so on and so forth. You will also, my mind just went blank. I just totally lost my train of thought.
You?
Yeah. Wow.
I wasn't listening to what you were saying.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I was like, also, we have,
I know you were talking about the shoot off.
yeah, I know I was talking about the shoot-offs, but now
Okay.
I forgot. It'll come back to me here in a minute.
All right.
Archers will be, so we'll be down to 80 archers. Each division, like we were saying, will be the top 4 from each division, except for compound. It'll be top 8. And the reason why is compound had way more archers sign up than the other divisions.
The numbers.
Yep. Still some good numbers in some of the other divisions, but still it was the compound boys were something like 40 or 50 archers in that division. It's a lot of them. So we've got just a few more, and they'll go down and score. Go ahead.
They've had 3 ends of official practice before going into scoring.
They went ahead and shrunk this field down. They took maybe about a third of the targets down, getting ready that are not needed for this afternoon.
Right.
So 32 bells are needed for this afternoon for the shoot-offs until we get to the finals, and then we will tear everything down for the most part and have 2 bales up.
Yes.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. It just hit me. So somebody had asked the other day, is it just score or is it match play? It's just going to be score, and I'll explain match play in a second. Normally for like recurve, it's match play first person to 5 or first person to 7, depending on what the tournament is. This is going to be just score. So whoever has the highest score at the end of 4 ends, so you'll shoot 4 ends. There'll be a total of 12 arrows. Whoever has a higher score moves on to the next round, and that's for all divisions. So I knew it would come back to me at some point.
I didn't know because you're getting a little older. So
I am. I think Wendy's distracted.
well, I'm looking up information myself. Thank you.
So if you're looking, go to eyesonscore.com. You'll be able to find live scoring there. There are multiple divisions. So one thing somebody asked was like on compounds, is there a bow hunter division? Is there an open class division? It's just compound. So you have a compound male and female, and you have a compound and for seniors and for juniors. They're all grouped together. If it has wheels and it has a sight, it is a compound bow, and they're all competing together.
Oh yeah, you missed that part when I was talking about that.
I forgot when Wendy, we're only allowed to say something once in a 3-hour period, apparently.
Yes.
That was like 20 minutes ago. So if you're going to watch, you better be watching right. You better watch from beginning to end because we're not going to repeat ourselves.
More than a few hundred times.
Yeah. So right there, you can see the one kid with
The
the
one
camo shirt. That is a bow hunter setup, but again,
Not
like we
here.
were saying, it's just all compound because it has a sight, has a release. It is considered a compound.
I waited for someone to save myself for a while.
Hey, welcome back, everybody.
So, hey, Scott,
Hey, Wendy.
how long has the Ranching and Wildlife Committee been a part of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo?
6 years. Fifth time.
You just answered the wrong question. So that's wrong. I didn't say how long is the archery.
Oh, I thought you were talking about archery.
No, that's not what I said. You were not listening once again. So, how long has the Ranching and Wildlife Committee been a part of Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo?
25 years.
Eh.
I don't know. I'm just throwing out.
They became a part of Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo back in 2007. So for them to have been this brand new, it's not like it's not brand new, but still, for this committee to be this new and to put on this type of competition, that's pretty amazing.
It's pretty good
Yep.
for a bunch of rookies. What else you got? That was pretty exciting.
Wasn't that pretty good?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
What else you got?
Josie has said, "Go, Julia Cook." I think I knew that kid. And so, hey, Joe, good to have you with us this morning. So obviously, after that question, the Ranching and Wildlife Committee puts on the tournament, and the committee members serve alongside the contestants. As you can see you can see them walking down to the bales with these athletes, and they help with scoring. They're not calling arrows. Arrow calls will be made by the judges that are down there in the red shirts, but every one of these people who are in this black vest with a white shirt and their jeans, they are all scoring on a tablet and on papers to assist with that. So the archers are calling the arrows, and then the judges are called if there is any question about the score. Then they have also handled the registration and the check-in. Oh my gosh, the cooking. Hello. They've got a guy that has been spending the night out here cooking, and it's been amazing. The food is delicious. Well, absolutely love it. I've been very thankful for that. They had breakfast this morning. It has been a great thing. I was like, what is Mr. Honacki giving my daughter? And that was her medal from the fall fleeing classic. So that's pretty cool to have just caught that out of the corner of my eye. So they have been serving us breakfast and lunch. It has been very nice. Oh, wow. That's a pretty cool looking medal.
Yeah, it is.
So Mr. Honacki just
The
sent
Fall
one up to
Fling
us.
Archery Classic.
Yes, so that was for, there you go. I don't know if you can see it in the plastic. You might take it out
Let
of the
me
plastic.
take it out of the plastic here.
That would look a little better.
Oh, I can't get the. I guess I gotta
Are
be
you
smarter than the.
having, oh my word, you could have just pulled it out the other end, but
No,
he
how?
is now
Like it's-
pulling out a knife.
You're saying pull it out the other end.
Yeah.
It's all hook. I don't want to break
Oh
the
my
little.
word, here.
Here, you can take it.
Let a woman do it.
I'm done. I'm about to cut it in half. I'm just gonna cut this. Out there. Okay, yeah, keep going.
Yeah, I don't want to break it. So look.
There we go.
Ta-da. That's a pretty cool medal right there.
It turned out pretty good.
It did turn out pretty good. And I don't know. I always have a problem because these cameras are opposite of what we have.
Right,
so
right.
Fall Fling Classic, I never know. I did figure out where to look at the camera. That was a good thing. But
Yeah, that is a good thing.
yeah.
All right, scores are coming in now.
Nice.
So if you go out there and look, you'll see the archers, their scores. So the first scoring end is in. There's 19 to go.
We are very thankful for Eyes on Score to bring you live scores. Parents up in the stands that are behind us, the stadium-style seating, they can't always see the target where we are. We're closer than the parents, and we are elevated as well, and we can't always tell exactly what those scores are. So to have that eyes-on score, to have that live scoring to where you can see, and besides that, even when we were sitting with our kids, we've talked about that your kids, that's 20 yards
Right?
or 18 meters, to have them walk back and they're like, hey, how was that? I can't really tell on that one, was it in or out? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You just left
You just
the
were
bell.
there.
I don't know what it was. So with this, there are a lot of tournaments that we go to that do not have live scoring, and that makes it difficult. And, when we had COVID, there were a lot of people that couldn't go to these tournaments, and yet they could still be at home and see the scores. We are still going strong with our scoring rounds.
Yeah, we were getting some of the stuff set up, and I left one of the monitors on down there.
Oh. Shame.
Shame. Again, there's several different divisions here. There is barebow, there is recurve. They look a lot alike, but one has a sight. So recurve has a sight and stabilizers. Barebow does not. Barebow can have weights. You can put a weight on there on your bow, but it has to be able to fit through this ring, which this ring allows for a little bit of weight. As long as it fits, you can shoot that in barebow. You'll also see Genesis. You'll see Compound. The Genesis bows are all alike. Like I was saying earlier, I don't know if I'd finished my statement. I may not have. There's 3 types of Genesis bows. There's a mini, a standard, and a pro. The standard is the only one that you can shoot in this competition. And they made the decision, too, that just to keep it simple, all arrows, because usually Genesis it's an Easton, I can't remember what the number was. There's a specific arrow that you shoot with a Genesis bow called the NASP division. And they made the call that they could shoot any arrow they would like for this. Anything that we say is not official because we could misinterpret, or however you want to say that word.
Interpret.
We may have interpreted it incorrectly. So the official is the officials down there, not us. We're just talking faces. Let me go down there and turn that monitor off.
All right. There are approximately 260 members who are on the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Ranching and Wildlife Committee. That is a large number of people that make everything work on this committee. I don't know. I can't say enough about them. I talked yesterday a lot about their customer service, and they kind of have to fit that mold. And to become a member, each year, the Livestock Show and Rodeo accepts volunteer requests to become a committee member. And folks are encouraged to review all of the committee options available and pick the one that best suits their passion and aligns with their work and personal life, because it does take a lot of extra time. We have our archers down there. I believe this is their second scoring end. You can see Judge Sean Harrigan right there in the red. If you see him in person, you can be sure and ask him about his $8 million flashlight that he uses to judge with. This competition has archers of all ages. To be a junior, you are 13 and under. To be a senior, you're 14 and older. But you cannot have graduated high school. We enjoy seeing all of the youth archers here because it is one of the largest in Texas, if it is not the largest. This is the future of archery. I know I say that a lot as well, but it is. You're looking at what our future grown-ups are going to be. Some of these will turn out to be hunters. Some of these will continue to shoot targets. There is talk of the rodeo putting on a 3D tournament in the future. Lots of possibilities are here in this room. We did a podcast last night with a archer who was shooting here, but she also is part of the Texas Brigade Camp. So you don't know what that is, look it up on either Facebook or Instagram. It is about land and wildlife conservation. They learn a lot. Each camp only has around 30 individuals in there. This camp is for teenagers. And it is a great way to show leadership. Looks like we are moving into our third scoring end. The equipment that we just saw an archer pick up, and it was a white tube, and she has it beside her in her yellow Genesis bow. That is considered a quiver. She has it, there she is, and there you see the top of her arrows down below. Jacqueline is phenomenal in getting it. That right there on the ground is a quiver. It will hold her arrows. Some archers, you can see the archers beside her have the quivers hanging on their waist, on their wrist. That would be quite hard. And we saw one yesterday that had a quiver on her back. All of that is legal here.
A quiver on their back,
Right?
like Robin Hood.
I think you mentioned that yesterday, something about Robin Hood. I was talking about her quiver that she has on the ground, that it is legal, and that is what it is a quiver.
They call it a ground quiver. Shocking, right? I mean, got on a limb.
Check out those fletchings. It almost looks like the arrow's blue, and the fletchings are red, white, like it's red, white, and blue.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
those are Genesis arrows. Those aluminum Easton. Oh, I'm going to have to look it up now. It's NASP is what it is. I'll have to look that up here real quick.
Bottom archers shoot first all the way through the tournament. Top archers shoot the second line. The reason for that is if there are arrows in the top target, it's going to create a shadow on that bottom target. At the half, they will switch. They will hang. If they are on the bottom, they will hang their targets on the top.
They will hang.
Or as Mr. Mel Nichols would say, going to hang 10.
Hang 10. All right, so the NASP uses an XX75 Easton 1820 arrow is what it is. So if you are shooting NASP, normally that's the arrow that everyone has to shoot. There are different colors of that arrow. But in this competition, they made the decision not to require that for the NASP division. That doesn't mean that it won't change next year. They're still learning.
What did you say? What kind of arrow?
It was an XX75 1820.
Yep. Coach Daniel Tunstall just said Easton 1820.
Easton 1820. And that's when Daniel was born. 1820. No, I'm teasing. Hold on a second.
I've been as cold as a bucket of ice. I've been trapped like curious mice, and I've been looking for a way out into the sparkling light. I've been a lost balloon in the blue, and like Tom free falling without a clue. I didn't know what to do until I first saw you, and now I never have to freeze under rainy clouds. No need to pour no gasoline. Flames already high and all over the world. We don't need no fuel or fire for all that you burn.
All right, we have a couple special guests. We have Nathan Kelly and Kyle Walker with us. A couple of guys that we've got to know over the last year or so.
Yeah.
And go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us what your responsibility is for this event.
Sure. Well, Scott and Winnie, it's good to be with you all again in 2023. Nathan Kelly, I'm the chairman of the Ranching and Wildlife Committee this go around. Last time we sat together, I was helping to run this event. Now I get to pass that responsibility down to our friend Aaron Patterson, who y'all spoke with yesterday, and his team. And so really just enjoying seeing what we've been able to do in transforming this here in the last 9 months.
It has truly transformed. I mean, from what it was last year to what it is this year, and from what it has been in years past, it is a true transformation. Now, I know that the numbers were about 260 committee members. Is that still where we're at?
Yeah, we've grown that a little bit as well. So we're at about 270
Wow.
in terms of total committee membership at this point. We're really excited about a group of first-year committee members that we were able to add back in the August and September timeframe. Really having a great time watching them experience their first ranching and wildlife archery competition, and getting involved with scoring this event and meeting these contestants and their families, and really just seeing what ranching and wildlife is all about.
And I think it was an eye-opener to have people come in this year and see the new location and everything that has been added this year, as far as the 2 huge screens, the stadium seating behind us.
Yeah,
It's
we actually
wonderful.
ordered a different. Technically, we ordered a different screen size. The team came in and set the smaller screens up, and said, "Nah, this is a big space. We need a bigger screen." And they just went back and brought us the big ones.
Oh.
Go
they're-
big or
they're-
go
Are those
home.
they're a good
Are those
group.
like 20 feet? I mean,
They're
what's
9-foot by 16-foot screens.
9
They're
foot by
monsters.
16?
They're monster screens.
They stand like, I mean, they're off the ground. They got to be like
They-
20 feet up. I mean, they're
They
huge.
are.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
huge. Yep.
Well, my
It's
friend to
really
my
cool.
left didn't introduce himself.
I didn't.
But
my
there you
name
go.
is Kyle Walker. I'm the senior coordinator for livestock competitions here at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. I work with Ranching and Wildlife Committee, as well as a couple others, the llama and alpaca, rabbit, and our junior commercial steer contest. So what that means is that I'm full-time staff for the rodeo, and I work directly with some of our committee chairmen to help them put on all of their things that they want to do. And
Yeah,
so
Kyle
Awesome.
is like one of the best resources that a chairman for Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Committee could ask for. Anything I need, anything our team needs, they reach out to Kyle, and he's Johnny on the spot. He's got it, and takes care of it.
Oh, he is.
He's
He is
like
like,
on
only
it.
with only a little gruff to have to deal
every
with.
now and then.
I got to tell
Every
you,
now
like,
and then.
like, he just makes it happen
He
too.
just
He's
makes
like-
it
does.
happen.
Yeah, I love these type of
Absolutely.
guys where you're just like, you know what? I think that's a good, and I like this idea, and it's just done.
It's just
It's
done.
just done.
Okay.
You don't ever have to question it. It's just done.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
how
have
we
to.
like to operate.
Don't even have to follow up. It's actually better than we thought. Like we're like, yeah, screens would be kind of cool. And look what showed up.
Yeah.
Wow. So this has grown tremendously. They had like 60 kids in 2019 with
That's
that
right.
first shoot.
Yeah.
And here we are with about 300 this year, and with room to grow. Looking at this area, I showed cattle in this area since I was 9 to in my 20s, and to see it turn into an archery competition is an awesome sight to see. I know that you guys had to purchase new bales to make
did.
it bigger, and which created new stands, which you created a more netting to go behind. The netting is
We
to
did. We-
catch the arrows that might not hit the target. But
Yeah, we
There's-
we
yeah,
decided this last summer that we wanted to try to look at some of this, and as we started to put the plans together, we knew we needed more stuff. We were able to send it up the chain to request that, and they came back down and said, yeah, if you need more money to go out and grow this thing and do something bigger, then Absolutely, go
so
do
be it, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah, to have not only Kyle's legwork that's gone onto the planning of this, but the leadership for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo to really step up and commit significant capital and time and resources to this event has, from my perspective as the guy who was helping to put that 60 contestant event on back in 2019 and not knowing what we could grow this into has just really been something that I'm really appreciative of. Them committing into the future and our ability to take this thing from that initial 60 to where we are right now to even the potential to double it from here.
And then having the practice range just on the other side of the wall.
Yeah.
That was a happy accident.
That was a happy accident.
I like those.
We had some extra bales. We thought we were going to add a lot more space within our shooting contest area, and come to find out we didn't need as many for this particular year. So we're like, hey, let's just
Why not?
set up a practice area and see how that goes. And so I think that'll be a permanent fixture of what we've got going.
Now you guys have just
added
a bunch more targets.
Gotta go find
Everybody, right?
again.
So it's going to have to be a piece going forward. But that was really exciting to me to be able to move into this space, just to add some amenities, really improve our contestants' experience, and have that flexibility to do things that provide some entertainment area for the siblings, right?
Yes.
That are coming and tagging along that may have had to just sit there and
Absolutely.
from their perspective suffer through another competition for my brother or my sister. But now they've got a place that they can go and
Even though I thought it was a dog activity area. I was like,
I know.
well,
they're
yeah,
gonna
the
have
fencing
dogs in here.
is a bit confusing, but
The fencing in there were the little
you
triangle
fenced them
things
in.
with the round circle, not the cornhole thing because that's obviously
Yeah, I
on the
didn't know
ground.
what that was. Apparently, you throw beanbags at it or something.
Okay,
I
all
don't-
right.
I don't really know. If you go over there, the
Vertical
cornhole
cornhole.
boards are
Yeah.
really cool.
Yes.
The group that provided those for us put custom graphics on it.
Oh
that
wow!
have
We have to go
our,
check that out.
that event logo, that little circle logo that we created this year. They stuck that on those cornhole boards.
I like
It's
that.
really
I like
cool.
that logo.
Nice. I do like the new logo. I didn't know if that was, going to be a permanent fixture or if that was something just for
I
this
think
year.
we like it.
we like it. Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's going to be a permanent fixture. It'll be our
I think that's our event
branding
logo
of the
now.
There you
That's our
go.
branding,
There you
so-
go.
Awesome.
So
Well,
you-
Nathan, I'm sorry.
Hold
I
on.
keep
So
cutting you
Nathan,
off.
you kept cutting me off. He was like talking about one thing.
Quiet.
So I remember that first year of 60 archers, and it was that big old jumbotron was right behind the archers.
Kyle and I
that
still
was
talk about how
very
panicked
scary.
we were about an arrow
Like,
flying
I was
into the
thinking,
jumbotron.
This
but-
wasn't one of my events back then, but I was in the livestock competitions team, and so back then this committee worked with our auctions team,
Yep.
just the way our organization was structured back then, and how things were, and that was an auction day. So the entire auction team was over in a different building trying to put on one of our major junior livestock auctions, and we were over here trying to assist you guys
Yep.
with an event we didn't really know anything about. And they said you're going to do archery in there that day, and we were like, okay.
Here we go.
And that big old jumbotron, I mean, that thing was huge. And I just remember like everybody's just intense, like, and I talked to Kyle. I was like, you know what? In the finals today, we should put one like this sign behind it. He's worried about it getting shot, but man, back then, I mean, how much was that screen? That screen had to be millions of dollars, but they stuck it right there.
Yeah.
I do want to say in Vegas,
$100,000 screen.
Yeah.
I think,
and we've kind of
Easily,
compared this
easily.
to Vegas. They've got those screens in the arena, in the shooting arena at Vegas, and we have seen
Every
arrows.
year, somebody
Arrows
shoots
go
one
in
of
it.
those screens.
I don't know how that happens because it's up kind of where the exit signs are.
Oh gosh.
I mean, we've
here.
had some arrows up there today.
Yes, I've seen.
I think there's one in a roll door, and there was one just above a door.
Oh.
So we've had a couple
I
of
heard
Only a
one.
few strays.
two arrows in the wall out of 60 per kid for 300 archers. I
Yeah,
think we're
Not
in
bad.
We're doing
great
okay.
shape.
Not
Somebody
bad.
aimed at the X on the exit, thinking, "Hey,
It's an X.
I hit it. That's a 10." You guys said if you hit the X, it's a 10.
Hit the X. That's right. Well, I talked a little bit before you guys got up here about the volunteer commitment that it takes to be on a committee, and especially with this committee, because the archery competition is not the only thing that you guys do.
It's not. No, it's just a component of what we do. I mean, we're a different committee relative to a lot of other rodeo committees where virtually all of our activities are outside of the traditional rodeo calendar. We've got first week of the show where we put on an expo and some seminars, and we hold an auction that first Friday for, ranching and wildlife related items, trips, and other memorabilia. But really, in addition to archery, the big signature event that we do is a shooting sports competition. We do that at Greater Houston Gun Club in February. I think it's the 9th through the 11th this year.
Yep.
And, we'll get over 1,000 participants in that event across 3 different shooting sports. So
That's
sporting
nuts.
clays, ski,
That's where archery's
and
gonna
this
be.
year we're doing a
our
modified
goal.
5-stand. So it's a really impressive event and the scale that we've been able to grow from an initial sporting clays tournament up to adding some additional elements to it over the years, and really, again, same vision for archery, right? Start with something we can control, and then build upon that and grow the experience for the
I
contestants.
think one of the exciting things is that Young Guns competition is almost capped. Like, there's not a lot of growth potential there.
Like at 1,000.
Without adding some additional days,
We would
which
have
is
to
a
add
strain on
additional
the committee.
days, which
Yeah.
seems like it's a strain on the club
Yeah.
and the committee and everybody else. It doesn't seem super doable, but this competition seems like the sky's the limit almost.
And this is just tech. You can only, like, for the young
Our-
guns, it's just Texas, right?
Texas 4-H
It's
and
Texas
FFA,
4-H
just
and
like this
FFA.
one.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, that's exactly right. And
Wow.
so, and we also do some educational oriented events as a committee. We host a poster board and video competition for 4-H and FFA folks to submit educational projects related to ranching and wildlife, particular game or wildlife management or livestock related programs, land management, all of those sorts of things. We get some really cool in-depth projects about different species of wildlife throughout the state that come in, and it's great to see a kid take hold of something with passion, and learn about it, put together this project, and then get up there and with confidence and present really everything that they've put together in the way of a knowledge base on a particular topic. It's fun.
It's kind of like what
That's
Michaela
exactly
did
what I was
yesterday.
thinking. Our podcast last night with Michaela.
She was with
offered-
the Texas Brigade
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
and we did a podcast with her, and she talked about how where she started and where she is now, which is 3-4 years later. It's amazing, and she spoke so well.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Like, it was amazing how well she spoke, and she even talked about how they help them understand it well enough so that they can speak to it and give you all the details. And even when
Exactly.
we thought we were almost doing, she said, no, I got more.
Builds a level of confidence within those
Yes,
folks that last them a
absolutely.
lifetime. So,
Yep.
Absolutely.
and
I
I'd
wanna
be
s- I
remiss if
wanna
I
s-
didn't. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Nathan kind of glassed over the expo and the auction like it was this small thing that they were at the beginning of the show. They raised $375,000
Wow.
at that event. It's not a small event. And then on top of that, they've got a fundraiser clay shoot
Yep.
where they invite
Well, that's
north
where I
of,
was.
what was
that's
it,
where I was going.
a couple
And-
hundred teams. Or
In some of my my opening remarks over the last day and a half, right, I keep telling these kids what our plan is in terms of what they'll get, as winners and
Yes.
finalists. And earlier this year, we gave out nearly $80,000 in cash and prizes just at the archery contest alone. And this year, this afternoon, we'll give out about $90,000 in cash and prizes. And we do all that, and then on top of that, we pay out similar numbers to our shooting sports competition competitors, and then those folks participating in our archery and poster board. We fund those awards through the Sporting Clays fundraiser that we hold every January, and it's open to the public. Right, you register a team. Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo's website has a link to that to that event, and we welcome all the participants we can get, because ultimately the money that we raise there is what helps us to grow what we can give back to the folks that are out here this weekend.
Yep.
Right, because I think Kyle and I were talking about it yesterday, that the registration fees that are generated through this tournament do not cover.
I don't think they're going to cover our costs for this weekend.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
we're going to give out.
Yeah, I agree.
So
And not to mention, we were talking about having to buy stuff this summer. That was like about $25,000 that we plugged into just equipment to be able to grow this event and be able to offer the setup and the layout that we've got. So
And I want to mention this to people who may be watching, and I've got someone at just a very impressive setup. So behind us, you see that the stands look kind of light. They're not as full as they were yesterday afternoon, and maybe even it's kind of light as with yesterday morning as well. Now, we talked about
Yesterday
we have
afternoon looked good though.
Oh,
It
yes,
did.
it did.
Yeah,
yes,
I was
it
a little
did.
scared that we kind of overbuilt this when we had that
No.
first round yesterday morning, and it was kind of empty, kind of like it is this afternoon.
Well, we were talking about
or
how
this
this
morning.
place is so big that 60 archers on a line is still big.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
is.
It
Yeah.
just
It just feels small.
Still feels small in this environment, but boy, yesterday afternoon.
Yesterday afternoon, I was like, okay, we did it right.
Yes,
180
absolutely.
shooters on the on the line. It was a good afternoon. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, there
Yes.
had to be 400 or 500 people total.
Oh, yeah.
It was just crazy how many people were here.
So we ended up having about 300 archers who registered, and last year it seemed packed, or earlier in the year, because these two events, because we moved the time, are falling in the same year. But last year we had 360.
That's right.
So we still have really close to the same numbers as last year. But because
And there's a lot of new people here that didn't
There
shoot
are.
with us in February.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
Hopefully we can get some of those guys that maybe didn't make it out this year, and they can get
Yeah.
in with us next year.
I
yeah,
completely agree.
I'm sure it's been said, but there was obviously this change in schedule was kind of put out into the public at the last minute. I say last minute, right? About 60 or 90 days. They had an opportunity to try to make it fit, but with at least a year's worth of notice, we're going to be in the same time frame. We're going to stay in fall because that is what gives us this venue, and that's what gives us the ability to
Yep.
to go beyond this 300 of that 360 cap we were at earlier this year. We can get closer to 700 or 800 kids just
Yeah, we took
without
the cap
modifying
off.
the.
We said we don't have a cap.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, that
So-
was amazing, because the first year I couldn't get my kids registered because it was full, and
Yeah,
I
60
got in.
kids. It filled up pretty
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. It didn't last long.
Yeah, the funny
Yes.
thing is when we did that and they had the 60 kids, I think Larry's, our superintendent back then, he was like, you might fill up. I don't really know. And then the next year
Whoa,
is,
you have
so
little
for the
faith.
2020 shoot, I was brought in as
That's
we
right.
shifted y'all's committee over to me, and we talked about growing it and all kinds of stuff.
We
And
planned
we
the whole
went
shoot
to-
that we didn't get to do.
We did. We planned a whole
Oh.
shoot. We were going to go out to Katy Ag Center. We were going to do the prelims out there so that we could. It was going to be 240, right?
That's right.
What,
That's
we
right.
went to the 240 for the second, so we quadrupled our capacity that first year
Mm-hmm.
from one to the next, and that's the one we didn't get to have because of the COVID lockdowns, and everything kind of came down right as that was about to kick off.
Right.
And so, but he didn't think we were gonna get near that. He thought that was crazy
we,
for us to open that up to 240 people. He said, "You'll never fill it. It's just not gonna happen." And it's
I
sold
think
out
that's
in
a testament to the
a
growth of
week.
this sport. Yeah, it's
It was ridiculously fast. That 240 sold out too.
You
So-
know, I would say it's kind of like what you've done here. Build it, and they will come.
oh, for sure.
That's
is
the
true.
attitude around here, I think. So
It's a lot. It has a lot to do with what y'all do, right? It's continuing to promote the sport, to grow the sport, provide the
Exactly.
education related to the sport. We're trying to do our part to provide a venue for that, and yeah, we hope that 300's just our starting point going forward, right? That-
I believe it is just the
Yeah,
starting point.
we definitely hope this is a launching point for the growth in the future of this event.
And it will. You got to have somebody willing to do the platform.
Yep.
You know, set that platform. Just like with us setting a platform for video and things like this. We're not professionals
No.
by any means. You know, we love archery and we know that this is a way to grow the sport. So we just continue to build a platform that continues to try to allow us to do stuff like this.
I grew up public speaking and for contest and extemporaneous speaking, and now I just love to talk. So, so
We
here
have
I am.
active
Hey,
public
you know, take
speaking.
advantage of the
Registrations
skill
are
set.
open right now.
Yeah. So next year, so Eyes on Score is also something that, you know, was part of, hey, how do we build this to make this thing help archery grow? And you got to have somebody that just wants to step up and do
Yep.
it. And that's when we were like, let's just make it happen. And so next year, so right now we did the qualifiers through this. Next year, we'll actually have, we've already approved with our developers, they'll have the elimination rounds
Yeah.
also live. So we'll be able to, everybody will be able to track the eliminations to know exactly who wins during the brackets. For today, we brought in flip charts. I don't know if you know that, but we got flip charts we're going to put up so that as they're shooting everyone that's here, we'll
Yep.
be able to see who's leading and who's going to win. But that's the only way we can do it right now, which I think will work. And then when we get to the finals, it's going to, I do everything over the top. So you can already see the monitors getting ready and the cameras getting ready.
I
and
think we might have that in common.
well, I think so. That's why we get along so well, Kyle.
I'll tell you, bringing Eyes on Score into the mix earlier this year, I think is what gave me the confidence that we could scale this and grow it. It really helps to simplify the overall process and especially that wind-up process to know who's making those qualification rounds.
I think you and I, Nathan, probably still have nightmares.
I do have nightmares about having
to score all those paper cards and make sure they're right. And
go back
and you
and
put it all
verify all
out,
of
and
that.
then somebody comes
we're
back
adults.
and says,
We've all
"Oh my
graduated
gosh,
high
that's
school,
not right."
but math class, still seems to miss some of our folks. And so,
Are you both Aggies?
We are.
We are.
Yeah, you guys know math.
Yeah, we got
right?
the math down. I can't speak for the other folks that are out here, but Kyle and I were there hand checking scorecards, and that's a bit trying.
And I would say, like, when I tell people about the app, it's all fun that everybody can see it, but from an administrative side,
Huge.
it is
So
huge.
It's huge.
Huge. Because everybody knows. Could you imagine us doing this tournament and at the end of today, this morning,
Have to sit there
trying
and
to
count
communicate?
everything.
Count everything out, double check everything, and
Yep.
communicate to
Yep.
everybody, hey, you guys need to be here at this time.
And we did that. Was it?
For 20 years in a row.
He's just shaking his head.
Yeah,
He's
we
like,
did that, and we. So
3 long years.
3
Yeah,
long
we would.
years.
That's why I told Carl I had to start staying in a hotel for this event. Was because we would be up here trying to get a hold of everybody for a hot minute, trying to make sure everybody was going to show up to the finals the next
When
day.
they can't just log on to an app, when they've got to get an email telling them to come
we
back,
were,
know.
we
Yeah.
would email, Facebook post. We had a text.
Trying to
thing.
get
We
it
were
out to everybody.
just- yeah.
Exactly. So, long story short, that's a very much a value add to this
Yeah,
event.
we were talking about it even earlier about the rodeo when we did it and they were giving out the award, so it would end, and then we would all just sit around, waiting to see, okay, they're tallying everything, who's going to shoot off, and then when you have the shoot offs, then you got to wait around and figure out, okay, we'll verify all this stuff. But last year, I think it was within 30 minutes of verification. Like
we were
after
already on to
you guys were
awards.
already
Yeah.
giving the
I don't
awards
know
out.
that we were even set up with like speakers and
No,
everything by the
No.
time you were ready to do awards.
Yeah.
They were trying to get a mic to us real quick, and you guys were ready to go. Everybody's ready to get this thing tore down and out,
These guys talk about the pressure that was on them verifying scores, but what about all of those volunteers, the 60 volunteers that you have out there that are scoring on paper and then having to add and tally and everything? I can't even imagine, because they're like, I've got these kids. I'm responsible for these kids, their scores, whether they advance or not, or how they place.
That's it. I mean, our folks are out here, to your point, volunteering. They're not experts. They don't score archery competitions.
They're Aggies too.
outside of this once a year, right? So it is a bit of in that case, it was a bit of high pressure for them, just to holding a kid's fate in their hand, right? They wanted to be perfect. They didn't want to make any mistakes, and so being able to help provide a tool for them that takes some of that pressure off and lets them enjoy it, lets them spend more time getting to know the kid and learning about their story and just being there to cheer them on or lift them up. That's really where we want our folks focused, rather than worrying about second grade math problems. At the end of the day.
I talked to Kyle yesterday, and I told him there is a gentleman here who was with my daughter her very first year.
Okay.
He was the volunteer on her bail. And then that was the year that we had eliminations, and he couldn't be on her bail for eliminations. He tried. He said, I asked to be on your bail, and they wouldn't let me.
Denied. Denied.
But for him to come up to her and say that and make that connection, and then after it was done, he made a beeline over to her. Hey, how did he do? What'd you do? Oh, you're phenomenal. You're excellent. All these kind of things, really pumping her up. And then last year, so we skipped 1 year because my son made state high school swimming. So we went with him. That was his first year. And we skipped that year. But last year, or earlier this year, he came over to her and he remembered her and asked how she had been doing and told her that he was excited to see how she was going to do. And he's here again this year.
Yeah.
So that is
Yeah, you're starting to
huge
see
on a
familiar
parent.
faces, you know, and then and the good part about that is they understand the process.
Yes.
That's exactly
You know?
right.
Yes.
You know, we're our committee's fortunate in the fact that we've got just a really consistent group of folks that love what we're doing, love the mission of the committee overall, and you know, dedicate a lot of time and energy to it, and keep coming back, keep elevating topics, ways to improve. You know, whether it be this event or our shooting sports event. Everybody's goal at the end of the day is to make all of the events that we put on first class for our contestants, and so
That's definitely first class.
Yeah.
We talked about cash prizes. What are the other kind of prizes that the kiddos can expect this year?
Yeah, our champions will get lifetime hunting and fishing licenses, which is a
Nice.
big topic,
Yes.
right? And in addition to that, we have had some coolers donated that the champions will get. We've got some gift cards we'll give out, and then some recognition banners, and then also our champions and our reserve champions will get some buckles too.
Very
Get ready
nice.
to go
Coveted,
This
that
year, the
coveted
champions
buckle.
are also getting our bow-legged H trophies.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
That's right. They're also
wow.
getting a
This
trophy.
year, it's the same trophies we give out during the livestock shows. Got some of them in early.
I
and
have a few of those at
Nice.
home.
it's a new one. We have a new design that we started last year, and it's really nice. And we'll have those for the champions in each one.
Yep.
So.
Very
I have
cool.
some from showing cows as well as the World Hay Hauling competition that used
Nice.
to be here.
Hay hauling.
Yes.
Is that still a thing?
I don't know. Two-time world champion hay hauler 1 year while I was
think it
reserve
is.
world
We
champion
don't
hay
have
hauler.
Is that something to brag about? A hay hauler? Really?
You know, it's good, well, being a female and having the world record, that I like to do that. However, it's probably not something I needed to advertise because then whenever it's hay season,
You got
guess
the
who
phone
gets
call.
called
That's
up?
exactly right.
Yeah. What people, what friends do you hang out with?
The country ones.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I want to say I've had a coach that messaged me, and he is saying next year will be huge. And that is something that I mentioned yesterday. I feel like word of mouth from people being here, whether it's families, whether it's coaches, whether it's anyone who's seen online and said, wow, what a fantastic and phenomenal event this is. I believe that word of mouth is going to just, I want to say it's going to double by next year.
And it's gonna be big next year, I believe.
This is the
Even if you did
beginning of
very little advertising, I think that the word of mouth on this one is going to be pretty big.
Well, we can't help ourselves. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna promote the heck out of
Yes.
it. Obviously, we hope the word of mouth does its part to grow this event, but we're not gonna rest on our laurels, right? We're gonna get out there and set the date early and just paper the town with all of the event
Yeah,
details.
I know that the timing was a little because it was 60 days or whatever it was, 90 days. There were already some stuff set.
Right.
So I think that knowing this event being so big, that people are going to be able to schedule around it a little better.
That's our hope.
Absolutely. It is the beginning of indoor season, but having people plan ahead, there with archery, there is an equipment setup that has to take place changing from outdoor to indoor unless you have two separate bows to be able to do that. But knowing ahead of time, I think people are better able to get that taken care of. And I'm going to speak for Scott, but anything that we can do to help promote it, we're all in.
Oh,
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
The other thing I was going to mention, and something, Kyle, think about is we should have, like, records of arch. So meaning, like, somebody shot, like, we had
Rendon Brooks yesterday.
shot 600.
600 yesterday.
600 yesterday.
Yeah, 600. We should have a document that shows that the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Archery, records,
Historical records, yeah.
records. That way, people know coming in. Oh, I could actually break a record for this one event. I think that'd be kind
The
of cool.
Houston Livestock Show record breakers.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. And,
We hear about it for auctions all the time.
We do.
Is the-
We're very
the
proud
price-
of those records.
Yes, yes.
She talked about it.
In
I
the
was like,
auctions, we call those world records because
There you
there's
go.
nobody with one bigger, but I don't think we can call them those here.
That's okay.
Record
That's okay.
nonetheless.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah,
still a
yeah.
record for
Yes.
us.
yeah, I'm sure you have all that data from all the years past, so we could probably collect all that and figure it out on who all those records are so
That
far.
we do. Yeah,
Yeah.
that we do.
That we do. Yep.
All right, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there, but I think it's a great idea.
It is a great idea. We actually
Put it on the notepad. There we
doing
go.
something
the
similar
notepad.
this year with our Young Guns
Yep.
thing. We're adding a perpetual plaque that'll stay out there at the sporting club's venue and have the overall champions from every year.
Oh, that's cool.
That'll stay there in the gun club, which
That's
is
right.
awesome. So
Well, thank you guys for joining us. I know
Thank
that you
y'all
guys
so
need to get back
much.
out there and do your job.
I've
Make
seen
this
your
thing
committee
great.
members
No, I think-
walk up, and I don't know if they're just trying to intimidate you.
I'm sure they are. That's
probably.
you got to have thick skin to spend a lot of
Yeah.
time on this committee. A lot of ribbon going on, and just everybody having a good time and
Your
enjoying
brothers
one
and your
another.
sisters.
That's exactly
Absolutely.
right. That's exactly right.
Great crew.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Thanks,
thank y'all for
guys.
being here. Thank
Yes.
you for
Yes.
letting us tell a little bit about what Ranching and Wildlife
Absolutely.
is about.
Thank you guys.
Anytime.
Great job.
All right,
Great
thanks.
job.
All right, thank you.
That was a lot of fun, a lot of information. Absolutely love it. And that's what I was doing, pulling up on my laptop. I pulled my laptop out and I was looking up, earlier when you said, Wendy's distracted. Well, yes, I was, but I wanted to pull up
She
the
didn't
information.
explain. She didn't explain anything.
I'm so sorry. Didn't know I had to, my friend.
No. Yes, you do. You have to. You have to explain it.
All right. So here we are.
We're back to action.
Yes.
We're back to action.
can
The action.
Always update your eyes on scores to see where everyone is at. I like that we were cutting to the archers as well as watching the gentleman that we had up here with us for the interview.
Jacqueline did a great job, didn't
yes, she did. She always does.
We will just so you guys know, we are the plan is on some of these is we're going to go ahead and get, like for this one, for example, we'll get this video out there on YouTube so that people can listen to it and something that they can share. It was almost 30 minutes. I didn't realize how long we were
was
talking,
it?
but it was about 30 minutes. But that will go out there, and it'll probably be one of our podcasts that immediately, so that we can share it for you guys to be able to listen in on it, because this is such a great event.
Yes, it is.
So we are back. They just finished the 6th scoring end. There's going to be a total of 7th scoring end. Sorry.
I'm like, that's not what I said.
Yeah, 7th scoring end. I'd looked at it a second ago. 3 more ends. We'll take a 10-minute break that takes about 15 minutes. That seems to be the running number so far. We'll be back in 10 minutes, and 15 minutes later we start. That's okay.
Well, I do have
Just
to
want to give
say,
everybody a heads up.
the bathrooms are at the total opposite ends of the range that is set up in here. And then they've got them on the other side of the wall. Again,
Yep.
same ends.
It's such a big facility.
It is a big, and I mean, how awesome is it to be in here?
This
Were
is
you ever in
amazing.
here for anything other than the one time you had the rodeo shoot?
I mean, I've come to the rodeo, but I've never, it's just, I've walked through it. This place is just ginormous anyways.
Yes.
And like they're saying, it looks totally different because they have walls up.
Yeah.
And they normally, they
The
were saying,
temporary walls
Yeah.
in between.
uh,
Almost like partitions, but much sturdier because they're gigantic.
my word, I think I was going to sneeze.
I was wondering what
I'm
you were
like,
doing.
oh my goodness, I'm going to sneeze. I keep muting it just in case.
I figured you just like pushing buttons
I
because you
do.
like pushing my buttons all the time.
I'm gonna mute you. That's her pet peeve. Muting Wendy, which is never on purpose. She's like putting her headset on. I left the mute on, and then she starts talking, and then she gets mad at me because I didn't
You
unmute
muted
her.
me. You muted me. You know you did.
Well, looks like we're boring this one. Taking a big yawn. It's funny. I'll mention this. We have some kids you'll see yawn. It's a technique when you're nervous. Take a big yawn, and it actually relaxes you a little bit before you shoot.
Yes.
I don't know if that's what he was doing, but it's
You never
actually,
know. He might have had to get up early and drive in this morning,
It's actually a good technique.
or come in late last night.
Yep.
These kids do travel in from all over the state. We know that we have some from the Dallas area. We've got some from the Victoria area. It's just all over the state. This is a statewide shoot.
Yep. Just glancing through here, you see some. Julia is from Brazoria. You have
Oh, my.
DeWitt County. DeWitt actually is using Eyes on Score for their events as well now.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we have another interview coming your way. Right now, you can see another 4-H. You can see a lot of 4-H shirts here. This is a 4-H and FFA shoot. And as he was saying, Julia and I do come from Brazoria County. I was in 4-H up until the time that I was in a 9th grade, and then I was recruited for FFA. Then I was in Angleton FFA. You will see during the breaks, you can see committee members, of course, talking with each other. They do events, not even events, but get-togethers throughout the year with each other. They will go to each other's weddings, you name it.
All right, we have a couple more that have joined us.
Oh, I didn't even see her sneak in.
Yeah, we have Ashley and
Awesome.
Clint. Looks like Clint's face is cut off. Clint, scoot closer to her.
I'm going to get in here.
There you go.
Act like
Ashley,
you're
there,
friends.
there you guys
Act
go.
like you like each other.
you guys can see yourselves right here on the screen. There you go.
All right.
That's kind of where you can see. Thank you guys for joining us. I think both of you were on last year.
Yes.
Did this
Yes,
with us. So tell us your names and what your role is in this competition or in this event.
I'll let you go first.
Yeah. My name is Ashley Wolf. I've been on for 10 years. Previously, I was the vice chairman on our sporting clay tournament. Right now, I'm just a coordinator, so helping oversee all of our various functions.
She said just a coordinator.
Just.
a
I know
coordinator.
that there's a lot more that goes into just being a coordinator.
No, I mean, it's hard to go from leadership to drop off. So being in the coordinator position, it's been fun to be able to help other activities or other events that were happening around the committee, as well as our onboarding, our recruiting. So just kind of helping up the leadership team as much as I can.
Awesome.
And so my job now is taking over for Ashley. So it's been hard to kind of fill those shoes,
No
but I do
way.
the best that I can.
No, you're
So,
doing so good.
this year, I'm the vice chairman in charge of our sporting clay shoot. So we do a sporting clay shoot, and we host around 550 to 600 kids
Wow.
hopefully this year. So, I mean, it's a 3-day event. We serve pretty close to 1,000 meals every day. And so, I
That is
mean,
amazing.
it's a production. So, and I've enjoyed watching this event grow. We've been around since it started, and it's gone from, I think we had 60 shooters or so the first year, and
Yes.
In the
You know-
smallest arena. It
Yeah.
was the tiniest
It
thing.
was.
yeah, we had to kick all the green grass out of the middle of the,
You
the,
and the green
Me
grass.
and the green
Oh,
grass.
the
I
green
still
grass
find
is awful.
I still find that in our cases
Oh
every
my
so
gosh.
often.
I think I have it still on a pair of boots, that green stain. So
Yeah.
It was everywhere.
it was.
I remember it from showing cows. It's been around that long.
It's, yes.
Yeah, you would-
And
It's
it
shavings.
just gets on everything.
It's just what you know.
You
Yeah.
pull like a towel out and you set it on the ground and and it's like it just pulls up like half the floor.
Exactly right.
Can't get it off.
So, it's nice that this event is indoors. The one that
Yes.
we put on is outdoors. So you always have the weather that's an element as well. So,
Especially here
that-
in Texas.
that
You don't know if
makes-
it's going to be.
give it 30 minutes and it'll
100
change.
degrees. Even if it's February, it's 100 degrees. It
Yes.
could be
Yeah.
raining. It could be 20.
I think it's going to be about 50 by the time we roll out of here today.
I'm hoping
wow.
So. Hoping
Oh, the temperature's
so.
dropping.
Yes.
Supposedly around 3 o'clock, the front's supposed to come in.
Wow.
Oh, all right.
So the loadout ought to be a little more refreshing.
Oh, I was breaking a sweat when I was
Oh,
setting this
wow.
thing
that
up.
day.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
it's
Friday
not gonna
night
be
was
this
awful.
amazing.
Oh, so hot.
There
so
was no
hot.
airflow.
And then I got here early this morning, and I'm trying to get everything set up, and I'm wearing gray.
He had
And I had like a
sweat
sweat
ring
ring on
right
my. I was
here.
like, ew.
It
He
doesn't
goes,
take long.
that's ew.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to just say from an outsider's, standpoint, I think what y'all do here for this event is phenomenal.
100%.
And
we
it
appreciate
adds
that.
so much. It adds so much to what we do.
We love adding this service. There are so many families that can't be here, or
Right.
maybe, they have to divide and conquer. That's what my family had to do this weekend because I have a swimmer and an archer. So there was a swim meet and as well
Yeah.
as this. So part of the family's in one place as the other part of the family's in another. And for them to pull this up on video and to be able to watch that.
Yep.
And we talk about they travel in from all parts of the state. So if somebody's up in Dallas and can't drive in for the day, they can still watch this. We've had people from Sweden, I think it was, the one time watching an event. And so to
He
have
said family
them
members or cousins or
family
somebody that
members
was watching.
that were watching, and then for them to even see the live scoring, that is a huge benefit of being able to see that. I mean, we've talked about our archers walking off the line and being here in person and, hey, how'd you do? I couldn't tell. Was that one in or out? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You just walked back 20 yards.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
we were talking. We were talking about it earlier with Nathan and Nathan and Kyle. Nathan, I can't talk.
He gets everyone's name wrong. Everybody.
That you have to have at some point. You have to have someone or some organization that will step up and take something to the next level. And the one thing that we did was a couple years ago, me and a couple guys like, hey, let's bring out live scoring to every event. No one was doing this. And so we went ahead and designed this app called Eyes on Score, which is what we're doing right now with live scoring. And then Wendy and I were like, how do we take just archery to that professional level? Because you really can't see much of it online. There's not a lot of that going on. And that's when we decided to start doing this raising an archer thing, where we literally started this thing with an iPad that was videoing with a speaker next to it with a mic. And that's
now
how
y'all are really upgrading.
We're like
Spotlights, everything.
Yeah,
and Kyle came up here yesterday and he goes, whoa.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I wasn't going to put the lights up. I wasn't going to put the lights up, but she's like, hey, I look better in the lights.
Yes.
And so I put the lights
are
up.
working.
Yeah, yeah.
I will say, I think that even this type of format, yes, live scoring, but you guys being at these events is bringing more brand awareness, or not even brand, but just awareness to the sport.
Right.
It's not something that's well known. Same with, there's a lot of these things where kids are in other sports, but these like shooting sports, sporting clays, it's awareness of another thing that somebody can pick up on, and it's not going to end with high school, right?
Right.
These are skills that they're going to be able to take on in the future as well. You've got people that are doing Olympic trials right now, or scholarships to college. I think it's just a great way to showcase the sport, but the opportunities that these kids have if they aren't into a typical football, baseball type sport. So.
And we talked
Y'all
about
are doing great.
the different sports out there. I played basketball, high school, college. I've got ACL that was replaced. I have, my back
I guess
hurts.
you could
That's just because
pull
being
an
old.
arm. I don't know.
yeah.
What's the injuries? What's the
But
common
you know
injuries
what?
in archery?
Shoulder injuries.
Shoulder injury. I've got all kinds of stuff. But, archery is one of those things that these kids can do now. And even at 70, 80 years old, we have guys that come in that are still shooting.
There's a man at 102
Yeah.
who's still shooting.
Who was that? We had somebody that came to one of our events. I think he was.
Yes.
He was close
Well,
to that.
I
He
think
was
we were
100
at a USAT.
No, he was 90 something.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah.
one thing, we were talking downstairs a while ago about the cost of getting into this sport, and versus the shotguns and we were walking around, and one of the guys that fed us all weekend, David Bennett, was on the floor, and he was highly impressed with the quality of the kids and the shooters. And so one thing I'd love to discuss, and I think it'd benefit everybody, is just, what's an entry level, bow cost, and what does it cost to get involved in this sport? Because one of the things I think is cool is like the shotguns, you got to always buy the shells. And as long as you don't lose the arrow, I guess you can reuse the arrow. So.
Right.
Yes, to a point.
extent, yeah.
To an extent. So you can see out here, there are lots of different types of bows. There is one that is called a Genesis bow, and that's going to be an entry-level bow. And that's also what is called the NASP. That is National Archery in Schools program. And so these kiddos can get in at a much lower price point. And when I talk about this a lot.
Real quick on a NASP bow is $200.
There's one right there.
So $200.
Yep.
And then the arrows on top of that.
Okay.
The thing with NASP, which is interesting, is that everyone shoots the same bow and the same arrows, so they try to keep it as fair as possible.
Okay.
That's right.
And there's school programs that are around that.
And
So
it
let's
can be
call
tuned.
that the stock bow.
Yeah.
That's the
Yep.
stock bow, absolutely.
Okay.
And both of my kids learned on that bow.
Okay.
And then we got up into what is real close to the bow hunter freestyle, which that's in another, but it is a compound, but it doesn't have a lens on it. We had a sight and we had pins on it real close to like a hunting bow, and which we did. It was a hunting bow. So you're looking at $500, and then any accessories that you're going to put on there, and then your arrows.
And you can compete at that level
Yep.
Right.
with the bow hunter. When they get older, then they have to start upgrading. And before we go into the highest end, there's also, we had talked about the Olympics earlier. So there's a bear bow, and it looks like an Olympic recurve type bow.
Right.
Those, I've seen some of those bows, $135.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and the kids are out here shooting and competing with $135. Those will go up from there, of course, but we're not talking super high-end dollars. Jacqueline, who's sitting next to us here, she shoots a bear bow, and she's sitting first place, and her bow is not a high-end bow by any means because it's a bear bow.
She's like, what are you talking
Yeah, what are you
about
talking
my bow?
about? But my point is it doesn't take a lot to get into it.
No, it does not.
Olympic recurve, and when you get into Olympic recurve where there's sights and stabilizers, you
Right.
get into the open class compounds. That's when it does get to shotgun
Yes.
numbers,
Yes.
where you know these
Right.
shotguns are very expensive, and there's
Right.
a reason why they're very expensive.
Sure.
Olympic recurves, those bows will probably get you between $2,000 and $3,000 is what they'll get up to.
Right.
And because these
Arrows are about 150 or, around there
200
for,
plus.
for 12 arrows.
And then you have your you see these kids with these big long stabilizers and magnification and all of that. Now you're getting into right around that $4,000 range for a bow.
And a stabilizer can be $300.
Yeah, those everything just adds up, you know. But for these kids, they can start like what Wendy and I were saying. When we started, my son started with a $500 bow
My
and was
daughter
able
did
to
too.
and was
Both my
able
kids.
to compete for a year or two. And then when
Yeah.
we saw that it was serious, like this is what he wants,
They're locked
that's when we
in.
started.
Let's make the investment.
We started making, and it wasn't like we just went in and laid down
Yeah.
$4,000.
No,
It was
I
we
worked
just
my way
started.
up.
We just started to upgrade a little at a time until we got to the point where he had a complete setup and was able to compete with it.
I'm an elementary school teacher. I cannot just jump in, and I had 2 kids who were shooting. There was no way I could jump in with both feet. My daughter was 7 at the time, and I was told, no, you've got to get this bow. And I said, oh, wait, no, because she's not going to like this. It's going to be 6 weeks, and we're going to be done.
Right.
So I'm not going to get in that way.
Test it out first.
And here we are. She was 7, and now she's 15, and we're still here.
That's
So
awesome.
We've worked our way up, and I try to tell parents that. And that was another reason why we started the podcast is that when we got in it, there were different ways to get in it, and there are right ways and then wrong ways. It's all depending on what you want to do. You're going to start at point A, and you're going to end up at point B. Well, then what are the steps that you need to take to get there? And you can see a lot of these kids, that's what they're doing. They're working their way from point A to point B. Not only do shoots that have prize money involved help with college, but they also help them in their game as to I want that new equipment. I want that next step of equipment, and I can't afford it, but wow, I just won $1,000, and I can put some of this aside for college, and I can get that scope that I've been looking at that's going to help me get into the compound scores.
So you mentioned college, and I think this is kind of an interesting point. People ask, so how does archery, can you do archery in college?
Yes.
And you can. So up north is really where the bulk of them are right now, where there's the University of Cumberland's that's part of their recruiting strategy is to grab the top archers and give them scholarship dollars to get in. There's a lot of junior colleges that are pulling kids in where they cover basically all their college, but you have to pay for your housing or whatever.
Right.
So there is a little bit of a mix there. There's also the other thing is that there are archery teams out there like Texas A&M, for example.
Yep.
They do give out some small scholarships, but what we're seeing is that Texas A&M likes to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
And
were
so
number 1 in the nation 22 years.
Yeah, not now. Cumberland's is there.
Yeah, Cumberland is coming
but-
after 'em.
Yeah, but that's another way that, hey, here's a way to get into Texas A&M because it's a sport that wants you.
Yeah.
Right.
And there are a lot of benefits to archery. It's not at the level as basketball or
Sure.
baseball or
Right.
football, but it's growing, just like this thing is growing.
Yeah.
Liberty University, where I graduated from up in Virginia, they have a phenomenal range. I mean, it looks like a ski resort up there, their clubhouse and everything. They've got a archery team that has been in the top 10 for several years. And so their archery in college is prevalent around the United States.
It's getting bigger.
Yeah,
bigger.
and it's getting bigger.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited to have y'all here. I mean, this is a phenomenal event, I think. And, we're looking forward to many more years to come.
You're
and building
phenomenal.
a relationship.
Clint, you're
You
phenomenal.
guys make it happen. We are here
We
to
love it.
show what you do
We
and
love
what
it.
these kids are doing, but
Well,
you
it's-
guys make it happen.
I've been on the committee for, 9 years now? I think I'm a couple years behind Ashley. But, the first event I went to, there was a girl named Megan Harrington that was out of Victoria. And she went on to shoot sporting clays for A&M. And now she's Olympic qualifier, national. I mean, she
Yeah.
goes all over the world, shoots for Beretta.
Graduated as a nurse.
I mean,
she
she
got
just-
on our committee, like just
you know.
paying it
That is
forward,
so
but also
cool.
just executing in all facets of
I mean,
life.
at
It's just
the
cool
end
to
of the
see
day,
the progression of
it's
our
just-
shooters. Or
She's
our
just
kids.
a remarkable young lady. So I go home, and I'm a Marine. My wife's an Air Force vet. We have one son that's a Marine, one that's in the Air Force. So I go
Wow.
home, and I'm talking about this girl. And I talk about this girl for like 3 weeks, and finally my family's like, Dad, shut up about this Megan chick. I'm like, no, but you got to meet her, And so I think that's what you see with this crowd of young kids, and it's impressive, and it's also refreshing in today's time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that's what excites me about, doing these events, and we look forward to it every year.
And I
You
don't
know?
know. I don't know if you know. There was a girl that was here yesterday, Jordan Miners.
Yep.
Right.
She was
You know.
here for
When
2019.
she said
Yes.
That is my
Olympic,
girl.
and
Yeah.
when she
That is
said
my
Olympic
girl.
hopeful, or
Yeah.
I was
So-
Olympic trials, I was like,
Yeah.
what
So
is she
she's ranked, I
talking about,
believe,
Jordan?
fifth
Yep.
in the nation right now
Yeah.
for the Olympic.
Right, so-
the road to the Olympics. And
What
Yeah.
do we have, about 2 hours before we're going to see the best of the best?
Yep.
Yeah,
we
and her
got some
mama
really
is
good
watching
shooters
us
coming.
online right now, by the way.
Yeah, we've got some-
Oh, fun.
Hey, Tanya.
Yeah.
Hey there.
We've got some really good shooters coming up. We had Rendon Brooks that shot a 600, which is
Right.
I think that's the first time in rodeo history to have somebody clean the actual clean their shoot, which what's cooler about that? It was a girl.
Yes.
Well,
You
I
guys
love
need to
it.
step up your game.
Yes, yeah,
I
yeah.
love it.
I think that's amazing.
Well, it's really cool that there's really, I don't see that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see a big difference in this particular sport, between the men and the women.
There can be. There can be.
So can you talk to me about that?
So if you look at Vegas, for example, when you look at the men versus the women, you'll have 20-some, 30-some men that will actually shoot a perfect score for the weekend.
Okay.
The women may be 3 to 5.
Okay.
Okay. The women are catching up because just a few years ago, the women were not shooting perfect scores. So
Right.
I think they were just a little behind, but they're catching up very quick.
Cool.
And so, you're seeing these young kids. I've always said girls are actually better shooters than boys. Boys,
We're better at everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
Just boys, men will just spend more money to try to make sure that they're
Yes.
better than
They've got to be the best
Well,
right there.
their
The
way
flashiest, look the
About
best.
5 years ago,
We're like,
when
we're
the
in it to
kids
win.
left, my wife's like, baby, we got to find something to do together. What about golf? And I'm like, honey, I'm not a golfer.
Now you are.
So we are now. We are now. So
Now you're a golfer.
Big
I
golfer.
understand to throw more money at it to get better at it. So
Yeah.
that's what we did for about the first 2 years. Honey, I got to have this. No.
Yeah.
So it's just, I get it completely.
Yeah, I used to cycle a lot, and one I had asked somebody one time. I was like, "Hey, those tandem bikes, the ones with the two?
I hate it when you talk
who
about you
usually
cycling.
shoots? Who usually sits in the back?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, it's always the strongest cyclist, unless it's the woman, and then they both have their own bikes."
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, she does really good. She joins me for about 9 holes. We drive separate vehicles. That way she can go and I'll stay out there all day. But we do have a
Do you have
plan.
to practice more?
Well, I do practice way more.
Way more.
Yeah, way more. She's just she's happy with where she's at. I'm one of those people that if I decide I want to do something, I want to be great at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So so that's where we go. That's the difference. She's happy with where she's at. I'm
There you
still
go.
pushing.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I believe we are at the half. I see fresh targets being laid out for the archers, and that means that they will be switching. If they were on bottom, they're switching to top. This comes the stressful part because those, as we said, the bottom shoots first, and your committee members do their best. Derek stands out there and asks them, which target are you shooting at? But it never fails.
They'll shoot on the wrong one.
Will shoot on the wrong one.
My daughter did that yesterday.
Yeah,
She
and it
shot-
happens in
it
Vegas.
Was, it was on the second end, too. So she did it the first time, just fine. The second one, first shot, boop, in the top.
So even the
But that's
pros
okay.
do it. It's okay. It happens. But that's what's going on is you're watching on the screen and seeing targets going out there. You know, what's happening? Well, that's what's happening.
Well, in the Marine Corps, we shot on a live fire range, and there was about 50 targets left to right. You know, and at some point you're shooting from 500 yards with open sights.
Wow.
And so, you know, your target is, you know, man size, but 500 yards with open sights is pretty hard to hit. But there were times when somebody would shoot on the wrong target, and you know, half your day was spent in the butts. They called it the pit. You know, where you're raising and lowering the target and marking the shot and all of that. But they had a little disc, right, that they would raise up in front of the target, and that told you what you had. You know, whether it was a bullseye or whether it was a 4 or whether it was a 3. You know, but if they ever waved that disc from left to right, that means you shot on the wrong target.
Oh, no.
And so you never wanted to see that paddle
No.
wave left to right.
Oh, no.
So I don't know that they have paddles in archery, but
No.
You know.
Thank goodness.
Maybe that's something we need to look into, paddles.
yeah, who knows? But I'm sure it can happen.
Yep.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Well, thank you guys for joining
hey,
us.
we enjoyed it.
And
Thank you
also,
again for being here.
thank you for the service of your family,
Well,
Clint,
you're
for
welcome.
you and
Yep.
your family.
You're
I mean,
welcome.
it sounds like everybody in the family.
I just got back
serves
from
our
South
country.
Korea. I had to go visit my son over there. So it was kind of a
had
unique
to.
story. Won't get into the details, but
We'll tell you later.
it's where I met my wife 30 years ago, and my son's in the same place. So it was
Wow.
a pretty cool
Wow.
trip. So I got to go revisit some of the sites.
That's pretty
That's cool.
Well, you guys have a great day. Thank
All
you
right.
for
You too.
coming.
Thanks so much
Thank
for
you, guys.
everything y'all do.
All right, very good.
All right, bye.
That's pretty cool.
Well, that was awesome.
Yes, I love the interviews, and you get to hear a little bit of the backstories, and you get to hear more about what the committee does, that they buy in.
Yeah.
They are all in. Their families.
They're not here just to get it over
no.
with like a volunteer thing. They're
not here.
This is their family.
A lot of people talk about the badge, having the badge for the rodeo. That's a coveted thing, but these people don't do it just for the badge. They do it for. This is part of their life. Whenever they sign up, when they apply, you have to apply. When they apply for this,
And
they
you
have
can't.
to make
You may not
sure-
get in.
That's right.
Like there's an interview process and everything.
Yes. And whenever you apply for it, you have to make sure that it fits your lifestyle because there's a huge time commitment that goes in with this. Is your family okay with it? Because you're going to be busy a lot and it takes a huge time commitment. And we're really thankful for it because it shows. It shows in everything they do. It shows in the people that they have here. It shows in their setup. I mean, look what the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo has done for the committee as far as the committee didn't really have the money to do all this, to buy all the extra equipment. And the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo and said, you know what? With what y'all are doing, do it.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
And they did. So we're thankful for that.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. That first half went way quick for us.
Yeah, it did, 'cause I talked.
Yeah. Well, we had interviews. We're going to go ahead and put a little video on so you guys can see. We had a video with a couple of the archers from last year, so we're gonna we'll do. Let me look at the timing on this. We'll go ahead and do this as 10 minutes. So you guys will get to at least hear the first 10 minutes of this interview. So go ahead and enjoy it.
Enjoy. They're all going to be youth archers here today, but
So go ahead and look at the camera when you answer because you're talking to the crowd, the millions that are online. Don't feel like this is too nerve-wracking, but there's roughly 20 million people watching right now.
No.
Just give or take.
Don't listen to him.
So go ahead and look at the camera. Go ahead and give us your name.
I'm Ava Pear.
Ava Pear.
Yep.
And tell us what kind of bow do you shoot? What archery or what 4-H club do you shoot for?
I shoot for the Johnson County 4-H, and I shoot Compound Elite Ember.
Okay, that's
Right.
a
We've
very good
heard
bow.
a lot of elites come through our area.
Yeah.
So how long have you been shooting?
I think about a year.
Wow. All right. So this is your first time to shoot the rodeo?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. How do you like it?
I love it.
All right. So what would you tell your friends who shoot archery? Would you tell them to come to this tournament?
Yes.
Absolutely. What do you like the best about it?
About their the people, they're just so nice.
Yes. You know, I talk a lot about, when we talk about archery, I talk about it being like a family, like an archery family. So I see you have Alvarado on there. You know, my daughter and Rendon have shot together for a few years. And so we just got back from Vegas. And Rendon came and talked to my daughter while, you know, she was shooting before and after. And, you know, we don't live close together. We're like 5 hours away from wherever you live. So it's pretty awesome that, you know, you get these friends that last a lifetime. So have you made any friends while you were here?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's what it's all about. And what kind of, you shoot the elite, and then
Shooting
you've
for
been
about a
shooting
year.
about a year. And
Were you rooting for Rendon when she was shooting at Lancaster?
Yes.
Was that awesome?
Yeah.
So I sent a picture to her dad while it was going on that we were doing selfies with Rendon as she was on that
on
platform.
the screen. Yeah.
So is this your first rodeo?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. And so would you want to come back?
Yes.
This is a good, this is a
Awesome.
fun shoot, right?
Yes.
We like hearing that.
Yeah. So and you both shoot compound, and you guys are you guys going to continue doing this, you think?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Are there any other sports that you guys do?
I do gymnastics, so it's a here and there thing.
Yeah. All right. So what got you into shooting?
My dad actually. One day we just came into the shop and like I wanted to try it out, so I kind of just shot a bow, and like I got the adrenaline rush of actually shooting a bow.
Yes.
And so we ended up getting just a little PSC, and I grew out of that like really fast. So I got the Ember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's a-
kids
that's a
normally
great
run
youth
out
bow.
and
That's a
grow
great-
out. How
great.
many bows have you gone through?
I'm still on my first bow.
Still on your first one? All right. Yeah, well, I'm sure you have more to come.
Yeah,
Everyone
boys
seems
seem to grow through bows way faster.
Oh.
You know, especially once they hit about 13, it's just boop, 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 boop.
Well, this is Julia's third bow.
Yep.
So-
She's been through several bows.
Yep. But anyway, I'm so glad that y'all are here, and I hope you continue to come, and we'll keep seeing y'all shooting, and then good luck with 3D.
Yeah, yeah.
See what we were talking, you know, because my daughter, she doesn't really like 3D, but she likes the target side. Have you shot 3D?
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you like better?
Probably Target.
Target. See, and she likes the 3D. So that's pretty much how it goes, though. You like one or the other.
Yep.
All right.
I
Go ahead.
I like target shooting too.
Yeah.
Makes it a little easier if you miss.
Right. It doesn't shoot off into the weeds, and then you've either lost the arrow or you have to go search for it. Exactly. I totally get that. Because, you know, with 3D, the elevation's different, the distances are different, the animals are different, the placement of the kill shot is different. So, yeah, it's there's a lot that can go wrong there. And if you just kind of, you know, have a disconnect in your brain and you forget to move your sight, and there's where you're looking for that arrow.
Yeah.
We've gone through that. And then you also have the elements of the weather. It's either hot, there's bugs, or it's cold, or it's raining, and they just don't shut them down unless there's lightning. So, yeah, that makes it a little bit, I like it a little bit to be out there and knowing that it's all different, because the wind in here, we have no wind. The lighting is the same. We're at the same distance. The target doesn't change. So there's that. But whenever you go out and I almost equate it to, I've talked about it before, like golf. So golf, you hit your ball. There's there's the bunkers, there's the pond, what have you, and the weather, and then you got to go chase it. So it's kind of like 3D. You've got to go to the next one, and same thing with field. You shoot at that target, and you got to go to the next target, and who knows what's going to be there, if there's a small target or a birdie or something like that. And same thing with the animals. You don't know what kind of animal you're going to have. Are you going to have a bear? Are you going to have the turkey, an alligator, what have you? And we have a little bit of an advantage at the shop because we have an indoor 3D range. And so that makes it kind of nice to where we can kind of go in and sight in. We also have a 50-yard range and we have a 20-yard range. So we can go and practice a little bit with the different animals, but it still is not the same as going outside. And then the lighting outside, what if it's cloudy? What if it's bright sun? What if the target's underneath the tree? There's all these different things that go in with 3D. What makes you like 3D?
I love seeing all the different animals, and especially the really small animals.
Like the badger and...
This past summer, I actually shot a squirrel.
What? Was it like the size of a squirrel?
It was like maybe a little bigger than a regular squirrel.
Yeah.
But we were standing like maybe 15 feet in front of it.
Right.
And so you're trying to shoot practically straight down and hit a squirrel.
Yes. That makes it a little tougher. We did that with it was an alligator, probably at about 15 feet, maybe even closer. And the kill shot was right on the back, but you had to go at it from an angle, so you just didn't go straight down into the stand. And it was a little more difficult. Yeah. So have you done field?
Yes.
Yes. What do you think about that?
I like it, yeah.
You like it? Mm-hmm. All right. What is your favorite animal on 3D? Do you like the bigger ones or the smaller ones?
If there's a medium size, I love those.
Not too hot, not too cold, just right. I got it.
Like the antelope. I like the antelopes.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's kind of like a deer, probably like kind of what you would probably go hunting for. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for being here. Is there anything you want to add? No, both of y'all got real quiet when I asked if you wanted to add anything. Okay, any shout outs to your parents? Who brought you here today?
Both.
Both mom and dad?
Yeah, mom and dad.
Mom and dad brought you? All right. Well, a big
I
thanks.
do have a shout out.
Yes, go for it.
I'd like to shout out Alyssa Garcia. She's currently shooting a junior barebow female.
Wow. Awesome. All right. Well, there you go. There was your shout out there. And we do want to thank the parents because without the parents, you guys wouldn't be here and you guys wouldn't be in an archery. All right. So thank you very much. And I hope to see y'all during awards this afternoon.
Yes.
Yes. All right. I love the smiles. That's awesome. That's what it's all about. That's why we do this because we're with Raising an Archer. And so Scott has his kids that shoot, my kids that shoot, and we just love being in the archery community. Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Right, thank you.
All right. You can either hang out with us or you can take off your microphone, your headsets, and put them right there. If you want to talk about anything that you see going on, you can feel free to do so. How did y'all like the scoring app?
It made it very convenient I shared it with my mom so she can track my score and I don't have to keep coming back to tell her the scores. I also sent it to my boyfriend. He's currently back home. And so he could keep up with my scores as I was shooting this morning.
Fantastic. See, I never even thought about that. So, yeah. All right.
My mom and dad kind of just found it.
They just found it. All right.
I didn't tell them anything. They kind of just said.
All right. That was perfect timing. They're coming into the second half of scoring. There's no practice ends. They'll go right into it.
I'd run 1,000 miles if I could run with you. And from what I have heard, you do the same thing too.
All right, sorry about that. We it's like, of course, right when we get started, people come walking up asking questions about certain things. But we are back. This is the second half, so this means they'll have 30 more arrows to go. Scores are looking very good. If you want to go look at live scoring, go check it out. It's on eyesonscore.com. If you're on your phone, go up to the top right. There are 3 little lines. Click on it, click on live scoring, and you're going to see this event right there. And so at that point, you'll just click on the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo's archery competition, and you'll see live scoring, and just keep it on your phone. It doesn't auto-update because there's so many scores coming in. So after each end, you just have to refresh your screen, and you'll see the updated scores. If you want to star your favorite archers, just go ahead and do that. That way you can easily see how they're doing and where they are rank-wise. Top 4 for every division will move on to the finals, the final eliminations, except for the compounds. Compounds divisions will have 8 because of the number of archers that are participating in those divisions. They had a little over 300 archers participating this weekend. That number will grow next year for sure. So whenever this thing opens up for next year, you better get on it. They're giving away a little over $90,000 in cash and prizes. That is unbelievable. I'm not sure of any archery event in the nation that gives away the amount of money and prizes that as they do here at the rodeo. And this is only for Texas residents and only for youth. So it's just a great competition, and it's a great way for the archery community to grow. And as we talk to the committee members that came up here, how you grow the sport, you have people like or organizations like this that will invest the money up front to build it, and this thing is going to be ginormous. Jacqueline about to take the table. Yeah, easy there, Jacqueline. And she just leaned forward, the little table like moved forward. But having an organization to support something like this facility is ginormous and has really the capability of thousands of archers. I mean, it really is. They have a practice range. They have the main range. They have a area that they feed everyone, which is it's free. Like, it's part of your registration. They don't collect anything. So they have breakfast out there in the morning for every participant, everyone that shows up. They'll have breakfast or lunch for everyone that shows up here. I mean, it's just amazing what they do for everyone as they come in, and so many volunteers. And one of my experiences is when you run a tournament of this size, the amount of volunteers that you have is how successful the event's going to be. And as they were talking, they wanted to grow this thing. They weren't sure how they could grow up. But then when we ran Eyes on Score last year, which did live scoring, they realized that the sky's the limit at this point, and they can grow this thing. Having us out here is a great way for us to show off these archers and give some, like they said, I think that was a great word that they used, that it gives some awareness to archery, which is something that I think archery needs, is this type of awareness. And Wendy decided to just join us.
I'm sorry, I had to go to the bathroom.
I saw you talking.
Who was I talking to?
I don't know, but
might have been. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
I like to talk.
No.
That's why you had me. Well, that's why you had me. That's why you included me, I think.
No, that's not why.
Oh.
The reason why is Amy told me to.
I love Amy.
I like the people that didn't talk back to me. Amy said,
Maybe that's
not
why
the right
Amy
people.
likes me, is
Not
because
the
I
right-
will talk back to you. I'm not going to let you get away with anything, buddy.
Nothing.
What do you like, buddy or friend? Friend.
Buddy's way better than friend.
Okay, buddy. Buddy
All
boy.
right, buddy. What was it? The kid's last name was Bro. You're like, so check out the little bro or something. I'm like, did you just call him Bro?
It was like, yeah, because that's his last name.
I was like, oh, okay, yeah, his last name's Bro.
Is Sean going to make Julia take her target down?
She was just telling me, like, oh, I don't even have to switch out my target because
Yeah.
all my lines are there.
That's what
And
she told me.
and
Now
I'm
I
just
see
like,
Sean's like,
I didn't say anything, but I'm like,
staring.
because there's nothing worse than changing it out on the 17th end.
Right.
And Sean, there he is. Mr.
Julia's
Harrigan.
repairing her.
She's like, no, it's good. It's
Yeah.
all good. Don't worry.
What are you saying? It's all good in
it's
the
all-
hood.
It's all good.
So
All right.
that was the first scoring end of the second half of the last qualification round of this tournament. All right, here goes the second scoring end. This does have the bottom archers coming to the line. That does not mean that they score low. That means that they are on the bottom targets. Not talking bad about anybody out there.
All right. I just realized I'm catching up on some of the questions
Yeah,
that
you
were out
haven't been paying
there.
attention. See, I've got mine over here.
So there was, and I may have answered it, but how brackets are going to work. Top 4 for every division except for compound. Compound will be top 8. You will, for the top 4, like somebody had mentioned in there, first is going to shoot against fourth, and then second will shoot against third, and then that's how, if you win, then you'll move on. It's all going to be points. We're not doing match play. Match play is something that is used for recurve and some other of the bow classes, but in this tournament, it's just going to be points. So whoever has the highest points is the one that moves on. The for the compounders, same type of idea. First is going to shoot against 8th, second against 7th, and so on and so forth. And I hate saying that, and so forth. But that's how that one's going to play out. Seniors are going to be a little different, or juniors are going to be all the way through, and they'll be done. We'll know all the grand champions and all that stuff. And on the seniors, once we get to the grand champion match, the top 2, we're going to put them on platforms. It's going to be head-to-head. It's going to be a lot of fun. And there's going to be a lot of stress on these kids. We believe, Wendy and I believe, how do you put together how do you prepare the top archers in the nation
You give
to
them,
compete?
You give them practice at being under pressure.
Yeah, and I don't know how else to do it other than simulating what they do at the events,
right.
you know? How often do you get to shoot a finals on a platform with monitors, with cameras in your face, with everybody
In
here
your face.
being loud,
Yes.
heartbeats going,
Right.
all kinds of drama. Oh,
We don't need the
Jacqueline
drama.
drama. Jacqueline just looked at me and rolled her eyes.
I love you, Jacqueline. Jacqueline brought me some coffee this morning, or her mama did, but it was sent.
Why
through
doesn't she
Jacqueline.
bring me anything?
Maybe because you're mean like that.
Your mother is dead to me.
No, she's not, because she keeps bringing her
Oh, yeah.
to every time
She'll
we
be
need
16
somebody.
soon, and she can just come on her own.
2 years.
Just so you guys know, we are raising Archer, and all the camera work that's being done is done by a 14-year-old girl that competes here, and she is actually sitting in first place in her division right now, and so we'll lose her potentially when we get to the finals, but
Potentially, I think we will lose her because she is going to be in the finals. I mean, there's no way around that.
she is. Well, she will be shooting. She did make it. She is making it to the Final Four.
Yes.
So we will lose her. Sorry. Hopeful on my part that she gets knocked out. No, I'm teasing. I would never want her knocked out early.
Not just say that. I might just knock you out
No.
for that.
We will make
Oh.
sure that we have this place covered for her.
are
No,
wrong.
she does such a good job.
Yes, she does. Oh, she's amazing. I don't know how she does what she does with all those little buttons over there.
Yeah, I mean,
I've got
It's
just
like-
a few, and I do bad at
you
even.
do terrible at it. She's like, we're trying to do a podcast remotely, and she thinks she has to have her phone plugged into her computer. And I'm like, no, you don't. And she yells at me. Like, that's not how it works, Wendy.
Sean's taking a target out there. It's a 3 spot.
It's hers.
Oh, she's going to be
I should have told her to swap it anyways,
mad.
because it's going to happen.
She is going to be so mad.
Well, this will be a good one for next weekend, because you just swap it out.
Oh, I told her. I said next weekend, he's going to be all over it, and he's going to make you swap it next weekend.
She goes, all my lines are intact.
Uh-huh.
That's
what she told me.
It only takes 1 or 2 shots to that line is not intact.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about is that some of these archers, when they shoot so many times in the center, they start shooting out the center of the target. And once you can't actually see lines, so if you shoot an arrow in there and you can't see the line if it's touching or not, then it's time for a new target.
Right. So
And-
you want to be able to see if that shaft is touching the line. That's all it takes to get the higher score.
Yes. Yes. Why did I say it that way?
I don't know.
I don't know, but
Maybe because it's close to Halloween.
yes. Yes.
Master.
Are you, she's going to be a witch for
No.
Halloween.
I don't even know what you're trying to say. That's not nice. All right.
Poppy wishes Tally Baker good luck.
Very cool. We do
Very
love the
cool.
shout outs, and we do try to go ahead and send those shout outs to archers who are here.
Yeah, I'm not very good at the shout outs. Wendy's
no,
better
you're
at
not.
it.
You're not good at. Yes, if you want something to come
Really?
through,
You're gonna stop that? You're not good? And then she changes
if you
it.
want
Rude.
something sent out to an archer, you want an online shout out, you might have to hop on over to Raising an Archer on Facebook, and I monitor those posts.
Don't hold your breath if you're sending it to me. You will pass out.
But don't text me, because that probably is not going to help.
I get in trouble all the time because I don't really watch my phone during the day. And so when I end the day, I could literally have 40 unread texts. And some of those may be my wife's that makes her mad.
But you get mad at me if I don't respond to your text during the day?
You don't respond for 24 plus hours. And then when I ask you about it,
I'm
you
busy.
snap at me like, I didn't know
Okay,
it was a
hold
question.
on. We had just walked in the restaurant yesterday, and I mean, I thought
No,
the text was.
I texted you. I literally texted you, and when I drove around, I saw you walking down from your car. So
Why
you
did
got
you
the text.
drive? It was around a fence.
Huh? We were parking. We were going to go somewhere else, but then we were like, oh, we'll just go there. And so I sent the text and I circled around to go into the parking garage, and I saw you. And I was like, she's not going to respond.
You were already in the restaurant whenever.
No.
Yes.
No, I wasn't. I sent you another text going, where are you? Are you coming? And then we just decided, I tried calling her. She sent me to voicemail. And so I went ahead and said,
Because I
okay,
was
we're
walking
just,
in
we're
the
just,
door of the
we're just going to
restaurant.
go ahead and order without her.
You're just never happy.
That's not true because we'd already ordered and sat down.
Yeah, and I was walking in the restaurant. Julia and I were walking in.
No, we had already ordered. You were not walking in. Wendy can't admit when she's wrong. That's part of the problem.
This is not
Yeah.
one of those times.
Ask her when was the last time she said sorry to me.
Oh, I apologize. I'm so
No,
sorry.
you
I did
didn't.
not mean
no,
to.
you don't. No, that is not true. That didn't even feel comfortable, did it? It felt awkward with you saying that. You've been like, but I'm sorry.
Scott,
Like, no,
I'm
it doesn't
so
help.
sorry
It doesn't
if I
help
have
when you're
offended
sarcastic. When you're
you.
sarcastic,
I've
it
never-
doesn't help.
I can't say I've never meant to offend you. Because there are times.
No, you do it all the time.
No, I don't mean to.
No, that is not true. Not true.
No.
So you're saying that it's just your human nature to make me mad. It doesn't mean to do it.
No, it didn't mean to. Listen to you laughing. Uh-huh.
Now she'll be mad at me for saying that she was
If y'all hear
mad
me
at me.
get quiet, if y'all hear me get quiet, you know what has happened. I have been offended.
All right, back to action. Sorry. As we digress.
Hey, those two guys look like brothers.
They all look the same.
No, look at their beards.
No.
Yeah.
Not all guys with beards look like brothers.
I know, but those two guys look like brothers.
All All right. Did they make Julia change her target? Let me look.
You look. It looks like I don't see any holes.
Yeah, he made her change it. She said that she was going to call the judge's wife if
Yes.
that happened.
Sabrina.
And he waited all of like one end to do it.
She said she was going to tell Sabrina to make him stay on the couch. Gonna make him sleep on the couch. I don't know that that's allowed to threaten a judge that way. So, all right. We have a few archers still on the line. Got a good view of the targets there. Got 2 gentlemen on the line. You can see our friendly judge, Laura, right there. She's a fairly new judge, but she is wonderful. All right, top line is up to shoot. This is 3 arrows per end. As we stated earlier, these archers have traveled in from all over the state of Texas. This tournament is only open to those who are in the state of Texas. It may look like there are not many people here. However, this has been 3. Oh, I said however on air. Miss Amy does not like for me to say however. I can write it in emails, but not on air. There have been 3 lines for qualifications. We have had maybe 50 less entries than what we had last year, which was the largest tournament in the history of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And this year was a different venue here at Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo on the NRG grounds. We are in the NRG Center this year, where we have been in the horse arena before. I think the very first year they had it here in the NRG Center, but I think it was the cow show ring. All right, it is time to score. We are very thankful for all the parents who have brought their archers in. We know that they would not be here without you. We are thankful for all the coaches who are here, who are cheering on and being moral support. The parents are the #1 cheerleaders for our youth, but we also know, being parents of archers, that our archers do not always listen to us. Even if we give a thumbs up, they're going to tell us, no, it was not good. But they will listen to a coach. They are more likely to listen to someone who is not a member of their family. That's just the way it goes. We are thankful for all of these volunteers, every one of these folks who are in these black vests and white shirts. You may see some black vests that have JR on the back of it, Junior Committee Members, JRC. That is something fairly new around here. It has been many hands to help this tournament work and work smoothly. If you are in Texas and you know of an archer who would like to be in this competition next year, there's that junior committee member vest right there. Pretty nice. If you know an archer who would like to be a part of this next year, be sure to check out the handbook, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Handbook. Your 4-H office, your extension agent, will be helpful in getting you that information to where you can get registered. This year was the first year to not have a limit on entries. Every year in the past, there has been a limitation on how many archers they could have. By moving this tournament, moving the location and moving the date has made it to where we didn't have to have a limitation on entries. Having eyes on score to register has been so nice. It takes seconds to enter. I didn't have to travel to the extension agent's office to enter, because for livestock entries, I don't know how other counties do it, but there is a night that everyone goes together, meets together, and does the entries. Having the Ranching and Wildlife Committee allow register entrants, having those do so through Eyes on Score was so much easier. It was quick, easy, painless, effortless. I'm a busy mom. I don't have time for all that, which I made time in the past, but it did make my life easier. All right. You can see all the archers sitting back, hanging out. You can see a conversation going on right there with one of the youth archers and then one of the volunteers. I cannot count on my hands. I can't count on my hands and feet how many times I have seen this in 2 days. The committee members work hard to make connections. I don't know that they really have to work that hard, but they make connections with these archers. Every one of the archers out here are youth archers, and these adults are making connections with these kids. Why is that important? It shows that they matter. It shows that the youth archers matter. And being the future of archery, that has to be number one. If they don't feel like they matter, they're not going to want to do it. So thank you to the Ranching and Wildlife Committee. Thank you for allowing us to be here as well. Scott has decided to grace us with his presence once more.
I was busy.
Yeah. Oh, well, normally I'm busy talking, but you don't seem to like that.
I went to...
Did you go to the bathroom?
Yeah, I went to the bathroom. They still had some breakfast. Went ahead and got myself some coffee.
Uh-oh. Poor baby, her arrow went, oh, watch that. She's trying to keep it on with her finger, and I do not like seeing her finger run across the tip of that arrow. That is a dangerous move. Many archers, if she were to release, it would not be a pretty sight. Or the potential for that to end badly. And a lot of times with these Genesis bows, the way these archers draw back, if they move their hand to the left or the right, or even the bow to the left or the right, if they don't keep everything centered, that causes that arrow to fall off that rest. It's very frustrating to the archer. And I bet that nerves play into that.
I would think so. I need to go ask a question real quick.
All right. See old Julia over there. Got a good view of the targets there. As we've mentioned before, Jacqueline does an amazing job at running these cameras. She follows us around. That was not a good shot for Julia. She didn't like it. That's all right. She can regroup. That's a hard part when you're an archer and you get into competing, and that's another part of that mental management. How do you forget about that shot that you didn't like? How do you move on to that next shot to make sure it's a good shot? And I say it wasn't a good shot. It was a 9, so that drops a point. All right, they will go and score once more. We have some archers beginning to trickle in for the finals. The finals are going to be fun. Archery should be fun. If it's not fun, they're not going to want to do it. You're gonna fight with your archer to go. Then there's no fun for anyone. A few of these archers travel nationally for archery competitions. Some of them we see around the state. Some of them we see out of state. It's great to see them, even if we only see them at this time between years. To watch them grow as people as well as archers is a very cool sight. All right. Oh, good looks at the targets right there. That bow you just saw is a recurve bow. Had a stabilizer on there. Top line archers are coming up. Whistles are used to call archers to the line. They are used to clear them to shoot. That's what you just heard. They have 10 seconds to arrive on the line before they can shoot. And then the timer goes off for the amount of time that they have to shoot their 3 arrows. There is a time limit. There is a shooting line. Then there's what we call a 3-meter line, which the arrow, if it were to fall, if it were to be released but not cross that blue 3-meter line, then it is not a shot arrow. If it crosses that line, it is considered a shot arrow and it is a miss, which scores a 0. Three compound archers in a row right there. Julia at full draw. I saw her with that arrow that was on top. It did drop somewhat, made a 9. She made an adjustment on her sight. And then it looks like she had 2 10s after that. With compound, you are allowed to do so. If you're shooting a tournament that has what is called the Bow Hunter Freestyle, it's got the pins instead of a lens, then you are not allowed to.
All right. Just I've been running around trying to get some information for us.
How nice of you to, you know,
To come back and join us.
to join us.
I know you guys
Sky.
have been missing me. All right, so how this afternoon is going to go once this thing ends, the plan is for this thing to start at 1 p.m. And right now they're getting all the bail assignments together and going to shoot off. The groups, again, always subject to change. Always subject to
so
change.
scores come in, can bump someone or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the shoot off, the compound that are top 8, they're going to shoot those guys off first. So they're going to do 1 round with them. And then at that point, everyone will be shooting after that because everybody will be at the final 4 because they want
everybody advance at one time.
Yeah, so everybody's at the same stage so that we so they can we know, hey, this is the gold medal match for every one of the divisions. So just so you guys know. Also, keep an eye on the scores. So if somebody is, let's say, one of the top 8 has decided that they're not coming, and if they cannot show up for that, that means they are basically eliminated from the tournament, and everybody else gets bumped up into it. So because we want everybody because part of the deal is
we've already seen that already this morning,
and that's already happened. It's already happened at least 1 or 2 times now. So don't be surprised.
Has that already been changed on Eyes on Score?
Yes.
Okay, so as we are hearing of archers that are deciding not to return for finals, it is already currently showing on Eyes on Score.
Yeah, so they will actually be just very quick. They're eliminating some of the scores, so it bumps them down so that you don't see them, and it booms everybody back up a spot. Okay. For example, for compound senior men, one of them could not make it, and so they have been removed, and which moves everybody up a spot. So I know that kind of changes the game a little bit for everybody. But again, we've told everybody, be aware of what's going on
I
those
don't know how
last.
many times we have said it. It's almost like a record. You know, we needed to push the button that watch eyes on score.
Watch on eyes on score.
Eyes on score.
Because we want to make sure that everybody makes it.
Yes.
And that makes that final 8.
Absolutely. We don't want any buys.
Nope.
We want archers out front.
No buys. No buys. Let me go take a look at everybody's scores. Again, we're on the back end, so we can actually see how everybody's doing. Just glancing at them, one way to find out is look at your average arrow count. So if you go to Eyes on Score, it will give you the archer's average. If you want to say, look at, I'm going to look at number 8. And so it tells you at the top, it says their average is, let's just say 8.5. And so you'll know when you look at your archer, oh, they actually can make it in there because they need to be above that 8.5 to make it into the top 8. One quick way to be able to figure out if they're going to make it in there or not. It does take a little bit of time to scroll through all of these. So when you're looking at Barebow Junior men, for example, top 4 are going to be moving on. So the 4th person is Colton Baker, which is a 5.43. Well, not a good example. Let me.
My word! Did you just say that?
Well, because I was just looking at who is shooting, I want to make sure that there is a good example. I know a good example. Barebow. Let me just go down to compound.
Barebow.
Compound junior female. No, compound senior female. There's a good one. Top 8 are moving on there. So Haley Sears is in 8th place. Her average is a 9.08. So if I go look at one of our archers, you have what did I say? 9.08. So I'll look down there and I'll see that Julia Cook is 9.91. So if she stays on track, then that's going to bump one person down. If I look at the next one, 7.44. So you have a 9.91, 7.44. Those are the top 2 people shooting right now. So what that tells me is that there is a very good chance that Sam Dabney she's in 7th place, that she will make the top 8. I know it takes a little bit of work, but it's just part of it, because we're doing it in 2 days and then doing the shoot-off this afternoon. That is one way for you to be able to go in and try to figure out, are they going to make it or not? Average arrow count. And this is stuff that we do all the time when you're looking at USAT standings and things like that for archers.
That's USA Archery team.
You can go ahead and
US
start
Archery.
doing the math on those as they're shooting to figure out where they're going to fall. I am just glancing through here.
You're not taking a look-see?
I'm taking a look-see.
So right there on that bow stand
so Rhett on the compound men is 9.62. So if I go look at the top 8, Nolan Williams, 9.43. So that tells me that he is, if Rhett continues down the path he's going, Nolan's not going to make it, but William Timmerman will.
The way you say that. Not going to make it.
Well, it's
not in the running.
Not in the running. Sorry, is it just too rough? Is it gruff?
Just didn't sound nice. The gnats are back.
Your friends.
Oh, my word.
Your friends. All right, so there's just too many scores to look at now when glancing at it. So you have, just looking at recurve junior men. I know there was several that were shooting this morning. You have a 6.49 that's shooting right now, which, there's one person, Zayden, who's in fourth. Well, he's in jeopardy because of that one archer.
Hey, I like the way you said that. He's in jeopardy.
He's in jeopardy. Is that better? Is that better?
That is better. Yes. These are youth archers. They've worked hard to get here, and for them to say, no, not going to make it. It's just.
Well, I'm sorry. It's a fact.
No.
It's
there
a
you
fact.
go. That does it hurt you to say I'm sorry?
So sorry.
To me, that sounds like it was the woman on Saturday Night Live. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. No, doesn't even mean anything.
All right, so any parents that are listening right now, if you have any archers that want to come and do an interview with us, send them our way right after this. It's going to have to be quick, so get them up here. We want to talk to them because we've got to get set up for the shoot-off. And so we want to, we don't have a lot to do because...
We don't?
Well, I've got a lot of stuff set up, but that stuff is actually going to be set up after we get to the finals.
Okay.
The final. So if you have any youth archer that you're like, hey, they said they wanted you up there, so just go and get in line. So we'll put you in line. We'll go ahead and talk to you, get you on here.
I was going to say in line.
In line. Just keep them in line. Keep them in line.
No need to pour no gasoline into the fire now. For our love to burn, 'cause the flames are already high all over the world. We don't need no fuel or fire for our love to burn, 'cause the flames are already high. To burn, 'cause the flames are already high and all over the world. We don't need no fuel or fire for our love to burn. Yeah, the flames are already high and all over the world. The world. To burn, 'cause the flames are already high all over the world. We don't need no fuel or fire for our love to burn, 'cause the flames are already high all over the world. The world.
All right, I am back with someone who is not afraid to be on this show. She's been on our podcast several times. I'm sorry, I have a hair that's like driving me nuts. All right, so we've got Miss Rendon Brooks, who I have said multiple times, come on, get in here and act like you like me. Your mom is like a mom to my daughter, so yeah.
Yes.
We've known you for several years. We've seen you kind of grow up and go through all the different tournaments. You shoot on a national level as well as a state level. You shoot on many different platforms, meaning outdoor target, indoor target, field.
All of the above.
Yep, 3D. You just cover it all. So, and what is also cool is that you have different projects here at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo,
Yes,
as
I do.
well as archery. What else do you do here?
So last year and then this year again, I'll be showing in the Junior Ag Mechanics Show. So a metal project, welding, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then last year I had a show pig. I won't this year, just time constraints.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Livestock. You got to feed them every day. You have to exercise them every day. And
It's a lot.
if you really want to compete with them, you've got to feed them at the same time every day. And yeah, when you travel as much as you do,
It's
I
hard.
don't even know how you do the ag mechanics, but that's something I never had a chance to do. So you shot yesterday. You shot 300 in the first half, 300 in the second half for a total score of 600. We're trying to get records from the first year all the way up until now, but it is in our heads that you were the first to do that.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, first, even against the boys. So we were like, hey, guys, you got to kind of step it up, you know. But it's pretty cool.
Tell the
that-
boys to shape up.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. So how are you feeling about going into the finals this afternoon?
I feel good about it. I'm excited. I know the first year that I came to compete here, it was to gain experience shooting head-to-head matches. And I have a lot more confidence in that now, obviously,
Yes,
3
you
years
do.
later. But I enjoy the head-to-head matches. They're fun. They're challenging, obviously.
Yes.
But they really put to test your mental game. They test your mental game the most any form of archery will.
So today we will be putting the seniors, which you are a senior female compound, we will be putting the seniors on platforms for the gold medal matches.
That'll be fun.
Yes, we've got the screens that'll be down before you shot on this type of stage at Lancaster.
Yes.
So we will have the monitors down in front of you, and then, yeah, it'll be loud. There might be a little bit of heartbeat.
Of course. Always.
You never know what to expect with us, but
Yeah.
we wanted to bring that kind of atmosphere to this tournament. This year, you can see that Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Ranching and Wildlife Committee really upped their game.
Yes, this is an amazing setup. This is starting to resemble one of the giant national tournaments, Vegas Indoor Nationals.
It is so funny to hear you say that because I have been saying that.
Have you?
Yes, yes. Yesterday, Kyle's like, you know what? I think a lot of people have been saying that. You've been saying that a lot. But absolutely, with the amount of targets that we had yesterday afternoon, it was full. This morning, it looks like there were not that many people here. Let's see. Last year, I think they had roughly 360 archers who registered. This year we were just under that. We were about 300. And, the timing changed. There was only about 90 days notice for people to go ahead and get registered. But I don't know if you knew it or not, and we've had gnats, like I'm covering food and everything. And they've been here since we set up on Friday. But whenever people said, why did they change it? It's not even near the rodeo. It's not near the time of the rodeo.
Yes.
Why did they change it?
Change it to give us more space. They have these facilities available now. So the room we're in is actually, this whole building is usually where the Ag Mechanics Show is. And they have the big sliding dividers, and they'll pull those out, and this entire building will be full of the Ag Mechanics projects. So they moved us to this time so that we can have more space, have more registration slots available, have more archers, and just grow this in the future.
Yes, absolutely. We've had to limit the amount of archers who could register every year up until this year. This year opened it up to where we could have as many as was needed, and they are hoping to do that for every year.
Previously, before they expanded the registration, within just a few days of registration opening, it'd be full, no more slots.
You are correct. That's right. And so people who might have been away and not able to register, because a lot of people travel for work. And so adults, parents might not have been able to get that in. Or we struggle in Brazoria County with the extension agents are, trying to work with all the registrations. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
With all the registrations, and they normally do all of the majors all on one night.
Yes.
But you can't do that with archery. So that actually helped with having eyes on score to where we could go ahead and register and not have to wait for the extension agents. And then I let them know, hey, we're registered for this, whatever paperwork you have to do from there.
Yeah. And
we're good with.
Previously, that's how it works with the FFA chapters as well. I represent an FFA chapter, not 4-H. And we usually have one big major show entry night, and that's where everybody fills out their validation paperwork. Everybody turns in their entries for animals, ag mechanics, all the things. So I just have to sweet talk one of my ag teachers into filling out my registration a little bit ahead of time.
I'm sure you have no problem with that. I was in 4-H up until my freshman year of high school, and then I switched over and was FFA through that. And I'm sure you had no problem going, hey. Getting that
it helps that the head
done.
ag teacher is my neighbor. So.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. So what do you think about all of these new targets? They purchased new targets, new stands, new backdrop, new curtains.
Yes.
Everything.
It's been awesome. So I've noticed with these targets versus the ones that they've had previously, these are not eating your arrows as much. They are not... Because usually in the past we have issues with some of the younger kids. They can't get their arrows out of the target, which thankfully we have the Ranching and Wildlife Committee volunteers. But
they
usually
have been amazing.
They have been amazing.
And then having a practice range.
Having the practice
on the
range.
other side of the wall.
The practice range might be my favorite new thing.
Yes.
I am definitely get my aiming drills and my few practice arrows in.
That was kind of an accident. So they had plenty of targets for this side and for the amount of registrations that they had. So they decided, well, we'll just
have extra
throw
targets.
it in. We'll throw in a practice range.
I'm not complaining at all. I love it.
Now they're like, well, since we have implemented that, it's going to have to stay.
Yes.
So
I hope it stays.
Yes, the plan is to have that every year.
Awesome.
And how cool is it that they've been feeding us?
That's amazing too.
And not just the archers and not just the volunteers,
but
the
parents and spectators as well.
Well. Yes, I mean, that's been breakfast, it's been lunch. So thankful.
And good food too.
Yeah, oh yes. You know that gentleman stayed here. He's got a RV out there. He's staying here, and then at like midnight, and from then on, he goes out and he sprays the meat to keep it moist and everything.
Oh my goodness!
To have it here, it's not something that's just pre-done.
No,
he's doing it here.
That's amazing.
Yes.
In years past, the volunteers have always been out in the parking lot grilling hamburgers most of the day.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember that now. Yeah,
and it's been.
I remember last year. That's what it was. It was hamburgers, and still,
it was great.
There are places to eat around here, but to get out and then get back in, it's kind of a hassle. And
especially for y'all broadcasting all day.
Yeah, to get out and then get back. And Scott's on me if I got to go to the bathroom. I mean, you should have seen him yesterday. He's hollering over the edge, Wendy. Oh my word.
Where are you, Wendy?
Or he's texting me, let's go. So, yes, but he's taken off now. What do you think about the live scoring?
I love the live scoring. So I know my grandma, she's with us she's with us she's with us this weekend. But she usually, anytime that Eyes on Score is available, she's always watching.
Aww.
And if it's not, she's constantly texting my dad for updates and then gets mad at him whenever he doesn't text updates.
So it's saving dad.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Absolutely
Cody's
saving
like,
dad.
Thank you. Thank you, Eyes on Score.
No, I love having the Eyes on Score because I also get to watch, like, if I'm at the hotel room, not up here, I get to watch the scores, see how my friends are doing. I love it.
Yeah, even in Vegas, you come over and you check on Julia.
Oh, yeah.
So it's nice. We talk about that community, that family atmosphere, because you guys shoot, you see different people. I saw you waving at someone else, and you form these bonds, these friendships.
It's an archery family.
Thank you. I say that exact phrase all the time.
It
It's
is.
an archery family. Absolutely.
It's probably my favorite thing about this sport is, yes, we are competitors. All these girls I've been competing with and shooting with for years, we are competitors, yes, but we're friends first.
That's right. That's right. I love it.
We never have ill intentions for each other. We're never purposefully trying to get in somebody's head.
Right. I have seen y'all. I remember state 2 years ago, you shot the wrong target.
Yep.
And Julie was like, oh, man. And then she turned around, did the same exact thing. And you were right there going, hey, it's, it happens.
We just
and
bonded over it.
y'all were like leaning on each other's shoulders. It was like, it's not really a funny thing, but it was
It's a
nice
little funny
to see.
sometimes.
And, the young archers who are new to the tournament style, we had one of old Scott's daughter yesterday shot the wrong target. And we try to tell people it happens. It happens even to pros.
I've seen it happen to professional archers.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it happen to professional archers in a shoot down before that cost them several $1,000 paycheck.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when you're pro, you're shooting for money.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is shooting for money, but not quite the amount of money.
Not quite the
those guys
pressure.
are,
It is not
right?
our salary.
No, it's not. Mom and Dad will even say it's not that much, but every little bit helps. When we're talking about college or
absolutely.
Someone was asking us earlier about the equipment and how much it costs. Well, we talk about the money that some archers will get. They may put some of it towards college, but some of it that to help them get the equipment that they're needing, that something might have broke or they're wanting to upgrade. Because even arrows can cost $200.
Oh, yeah. Easily. All that just depends on how far you want to go with it.
Exactly.
Do you want to compete locally and have fun? You're probably not going to spend quite as much. But if you decide that you're going to spend all this money, you're going to go to the national competitions, you're going to end up spending a little bit more.
Absolutely. And then some of them may even put it back to where the travel, because you guys had to come in. Okay, so y'all have been to a tournament before where you got an RV. That was State Field.
We rented one, yes.
So how did that turn out?
I loved it.
Look at the smile on
It
her
was
face. She's like, oh, it was
so
awesome.
fun.
All right, so what did y'all do this time? Did you bring an RV or did you?
No, we have a hotel.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we're in a hotel too as well. So yeah, there's early mornings and late nights.
And we're a little under 5 hours away for this one.
Absolutely. I know it takes us 5 hours to get up there for shoots. So it takes a while.
It's a ways, but
and you need
it's
to
worth
rest, after traveling all that way. And even if you sleep in a car, it's not the same.
No.
All right. So again, this is Rendon Brooks. She is sitting first in the senior female compound division, and also with a 600 score, which is the max that you can get. Boys, you better step it up because I have not seen a male do that here yet. First one to do it has been a female. Haha. That's probably rude of me, but
that's fine.
All right.
It'll be all right.
We do have bottom archers up to the line. I love to see, like where you guys started, the youth out here, the little ones. I say that that's the future of archery.
It is. It absolutely is.
I don't know if you remember, but right after COVID, at least in our area, we were worried about the future of archery. Shops were worried about where this was going to go. They weren't seeing the numbers. People weren't coming in.
Absolutely.
It was hard to have indoor tournaments because you had to have 6 foot between. The lines started looking different of having people on the line to shoot. That even went into practices that we would have.
Absolutely.
And so to see it where it is now is quite uplifting.
Yeah. And as far as involvement goes, having shops with leagues or group practices, that's where you get people hooked into archery. That's how I got into archery. Me and my dad were bored one day and he said, "Hey, you want to go to the archery shop?" I was like, "What's an archery shop? That sounds cool." Little 9-year-old me.
Yeah, there you go. Julia got into it at it was a junior college that had like the summer day camp kind of thing and she says, "Mom, I want to do that." I was like, "Okay, what do you want to do?" "I want to do the target." And it said it was called On Target. I'm like, "What?" I read through it. I was like, "Okay," and I read through it. "Oh, it's archery." And we don't know anything about archery. I was thinking it was guns. We have guns. We know guns.
We know that.
And no, it was archery. No, I want to do it. I want to do it. Oh, okay, look, they've got horses. Let's do that. No, didn't want that. Okay, well, let's talk about
Archery.
Well, let's talk about cooking. No, I don't want to do that. I even tried robotics. I know nothing about that, but I was like, robotics. No, I want archery. Well, fine.
But aren't
Signed
you
her
glad
up.
she picked archery now?
Am I? It has cost a whole lot more than that, less than $100 for
That's
that
fair.
1 week.
That is fair.
But if I didn't like it, we wouldn't be doing it. So, yes, you are correct. I follow her around wherever she wants to go. And, yep, it also had Luke into it until he decided to go strictly swim. So I had both kids in archery for a while. And we keep going. And your parents seem to be doing the same.
Yep. They say all the time that even though I'm an only child, I keep them busy like 4 kids would.
Yes. I was an only child. Well, I am an only child, and I did the same with my parents and my 2. I tried to limit the activities when they were growing up. They're both still in high school, but I said, okay, you get 2 activities. Well, I didn't think about one for one and one for the other. No, that was 2 and 2, so it was 4. And, yeah, but then they, on their own, they narrowed down what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I've never put any other limitation on them for that. And for the most part, I think it keeps them out of trouble.
That's fair enough. I have teachers say that to me all the time. It's like, you're out of trouble just because you're so busy and constantly
your
doing
mind
stuff.
is doing something else rather than getting in trouble. And then also the committee members here have talked about all of the archers down on the floor of how mature and the way you speak and the way you handle yourselves. They,
I've noticed that as well.
Yeah. It's a different breed of athletes. I'm not going to talk about any other sport, but I mean, the way you guys handle yourselves down there on the floor is amazing to see and brings a different level to archery, and to see and to know that's what's going to be coming up as you guys become adults.
And I think part of that is the amount of not mental strength, but focus and determination that it takes to shoot a bow and do it well. It's a lot, and the amount of concentration that some of these younger kids have is amazing. It's really impressive.
Yes. You know what I think, and I don't know if it's just like, I'm just here to have fun, but on the younger ones, if they have a bad shot, it's kind of like, they kind of almost like they blow it off, which
shrug and blow it off.
Yeah, which is harder for the older ones to do. That's getting that out of your head, that bad shot. We did a podcast with a kiddo a couple of weeks ago, and he was shooting here yesterday. He's in the top spot for his division. He'll be coming back today. But he talks about the shot of bliss. And that he said if you shoot 300 arrows and you've got one shot, you need to remember that one shot of bliss. That what did you do? What did it feel like? What do you need to do to reproduce that?
Yeah.
But that's hard. A lot of people focus on
it.
And Julia included. You got that shot and you're like, oh, well, there went that. And
I think every single archer goes through that phase. Everybody who's ever gotten competitive has gone through the phase of gotten their head and said, one mistake is going to kill me. No, it's not. One mistake may mean you're not in the top whatever you want to be in, but it's not going to kill you.
How
you
would
can
that
come
have
back from
affected you yesterday? Because you were the only person who shot a 600. So one shot would have been like, okay, well, there's not the 600.
I think that yesterday it would not have bothered me, but say 3 years ago, it would have killed me. It would have absolutely ripped me apart. I have definitely gotten to the point where I can have a bad shot and I can look up and I can learn from it and I can say, okay, what did I do wrong? I know what I did wrong. Let's fix it next time.
There you go. That is a great quality to have, especially when you're looking at scores. It's not something that's by a time.
Yes.
It is one arrow at a time.
Absolutely. That's the philosophy I live by. That's what I've been coached to do. Michael Braden, that's his philosophy, is I don't set score goals. I tell myself that I am going to we're shooting a 60 arrow round, I'm going to make 60 perfect shots today.
There you go.
And I'm going to take it one shot at a time and see what happens.
And see what happens. Well, it worked for you yesterday, that's for sure.
If I do my process and I do everything I'm supposed to do with the bow in my hands, that arrow's going to have the best chance it can to hit the X.
We have heard so many times coaches say, trust the process.
Absolutely.
You know, that's the training that you've had. Trust the process. If you go through your process, then that arrow is going to fly where you need it to. Unless there's a mechanical issue.
Yeah.
But if you go through your process, that's what you're looking at.
Yeah. And then part of that's having confidence in your process. So
Yes.
shooting for long enough, putting enough practice arrows through your bow, and knowing that, okay, if I do everything I do, this arrow is going to land behind the pin.
Julia had lost her confidence this year, had a new bow. We just could not get that bow tuned. So 2 weeks ago, she went back to her old bow.
I heard.
Her confidence has been a little bit better. It's not quite where it was before, but, you know, she's like, it feels good. It feels like I'm, you know, it's, I don't even know what words she had said, but it's more consistent.
Yes.
That's what she said.
Consistency is key
Yes.
in every aspect of archery.
So we're anxious to see how this year is going to play out with that bow, and we may switch back to the new bow for outdoor season and try a few different things that we're hearing from other archers with that same kind of bow and see what happens.
What bow did she switch to?
She had a Stratus.
Okay.
So it takes a few different tweaks, evidently, to tune that bow.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, a lot of you get with a brand, and you can tune most of them the same way, even when they get a new style of bow. But this one didn't seem to follow the patterns.
Yes. It happens sometimes.
She had a Prevail, and that's what she's shooting now. She went back to the Prevail. She stayed with Hoyt. She likes the Hoyt bows. But that one just did not
And that's okay.
tune just right.
Yeah. you have the bow every once in a while that just doesn't agree with you.
And really, when we switched back to this bow, it was to see, was it her or was it the bow? You know, maybe she started doing something that her coaches weren't seeing. And but then when she scored the same score that she had scored as her highest score before with that bow, she's like, no. I went back to it immediately, shot that. I'm going to do that. So
yes.
That's where we are at, and that happens sometimes, like you said. And one of her coaches said, new is not always better.
No, definitely not.
Have you encountered that before?
The release I'm shooting is currently no longer in production and has not been in production for about 5 years. So
you're like, I'm trusting this one. This is the one. We talked about releases. I don't know if it was yesterday or this morning. I don't know. It's all running together. But, yeah, we were talking about when someone finds that one release that works for them. They're like, no, I'm not going. And coaches will try to get you to try something else. Well, try this one.
Nope.
And,
nope.
That's right there. Nope.
I will not.
Yes. What's going to happen if that one breaks or wears out?
Hopefully I can find a used one somewhere.
You're like Amazon,
I have
eBay.
an extra. I have an extra.
You
I
have
have
the
two.
backup.
Yes.
All right. So what does practice look like for you?
So practice for me,
because I know you have an archery hut.
I do. I have a big
cool.
portable canvas building that I can shoot 20 yards indoors in. It's been pretty fabulous.
Oh, Scott wants to join us.
Scott wants to
me
join in.
to.
Come on in, Scott.
I don't know.
I'm feeling left out right now. there's
there.
a lot of no guys up here.
Nah.
That was pretty good. It was all females up here on the stage. I didn't have a problem
I'm
with that.
sure it's probably pretty boring.
Rendon and
I bet it got
carry on
boring
on a
up here.
Conversation.
Yes.
Are you? Jack's like looking at me. Like,
I know. She's like, just back off, buddy. Buddy, see?
Buddy.
Buddy. You approved Buddy.
I know. I did approve Buddy.
So being a teacher, I call everybody friend. Hey, friend.
Well, Rendon,
Okay.
you shot okay yesterday.
Oh, my
I shot
word.
okay.
You shot okay.
Beat all the boys.
I expected a few more X's, but you know.
I tried my best.
I know. No, amazing shooting. That's
He's
awesome.
been talking about people like that. Yeah, you're out. And I'm like, what?
Hey, what am I supposed to say, Rendon? Like you're on the bubble. You're in 4th place. They're only taking the top 4, and there's somebody that's shooting that's average is way higher than yours. They're not going to make it.
Isn't that wrong? Can you say you are on the verge of being bumped?
Or I could
Isn't
say,
that better than
yeah,
going like, you're not going to make it?
You're in trouble.
Stop.
You are seriously in
See?
trouble right now.
See?
Gotta be polite, Scott. Come on.
Thank you. I mean, some of these are little kids, you know.
Yeah.
Junior division. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're not gonna make it.
Well, they just finished. They've got two practice or two makeup ends.
Two
to do.
makeup ends.
So they're going to ask everybody to, get this scoring done and get off the range so they can go
Yes.
ahead and get those going.
They
we have
politely asked that yesterday.
yeah, we've got Michael and Rick over there getting all of it together for the actual elimination rounds. I believe what they're going to do is shoot compound first to get to the final four, and
That
then
was the rumor.
once they get to the final four, everyone starts so that we know exactly when they're doing gold medal match, and it'll be for every division
Does
at
that
that
mean
point.
you need to leave us?
No,
What time is it?
no.
No, I'm good for a little bit.
She's good.
Oh, we're good.
She's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
they don't start till 1.
Well, when he starts saying compound shoots first, and I know you shoot compound, so
I do. No, I've got time.
Yeah, she's got time.
I'm gonna play the mom part over here. Don't forget to eat.
You know what? Let's make it
Yes,
challenging.
ma'am.
Don't shoot the first 3 arrows.
Oh,
Don't
my
shoot the first
word.
3
Yeah,
arrows?
just take 3 misses.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
Cody's
think that
about
would
to
work
come
out
down
well
here.
for me.
I don't think it would either.
Cody or Casey or maybe both
You know
will
what?
be down here in a moment.
Yeah.
Just shoot a couple 6s.
Shoot a couple 6s.
Yeah, and then that would make it more exciting.
Okay.
Oh my word!
Your parents
Compromise
would kill,
with 8.
would
Right?
kill me.
Yes,
would
they
kill
would.
me.
Not her, but you.
Yeah. No, Scott said to do that.
I'm
Where's
doing
Scott?
what Scott told me to.
Right,
I mean,
right.
Scott said he needed some drama for the broadcast.
Yes,
So
yes, absolutely. Because drama
No
sells.
drama. I have been telling him no drama.
No drama?
No drama.
There's got to be some drama up here with 3 women.
No, no.
No.
Not the 3 that are up
The
here.
drama started when you got here.
Thank
What?
you.
What?
Thank you.
All right, everybody is. A lot of them are finishing up, but there's just a few makeups, and then we will get it going at that point. There are going to be every one of these bells is going to be used. I don't know what they're going to do for compound. I know that they want to do 2 people per bale for every bale, but the compounds are 8, so I don't know if they're going to go ahead and shoot all 8 on 2 bales or they're going to spread it out.
Yeah, Scott
Hopefully
and I
they'll spread it out.
talk about it.
They'll probably spread it out and run one line.
That's
to
what I think
move it
they
a
should
little faster.
do. Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's what they'll do, but like we've told everybody, we're not official.
No.
We're just passing along information how we kind of heard it.
We
Or how
are
Scott
making a very
interprets it.
educated guess.
yes. How I interpreted it.
Scott's not always right.
What? Watch yourself,
man.
cook.
Nah.
Nah.
I'll just apologize later. I'm sorry, Scott, if I offended
No,
you.
you can't do it
Look,
that
I
way.
even looked you in the
You can't do
eyes
it that
and
way.
told you.
You're saying you have such a sarcastic tone to your
What?
voice.
Oh, I
And you're
could've been
smiling.
like,
You're smiling all
Scott."
creepy when you say it. No.
Creepy?
Yeah.
I didn't know I smiled creepy.
Scott does not accept your apology.
So I was like, I'm sorry, Scott, if I offended you. That was a creepy smile, evidently. I don't
Yeah.
know. And it was sarcastic.
Because she doesn't apologize. So when she apologizes like that,
the only time you apologize is when I get quiet because you're like, oh, no, I've now done it.
well, it usually takes me a couple days.
It does. 3 days later when I don't return a text.
So there's an arrow sitting in a wall over there. Do you see that?
I saw that yesterday. Yeah.
How does it stick?
How does it stick?
I would have thought it would like hit and bounce out.
Yeah, like how you
Drywall.
said that. How does
Is
it
that
stick?
drywall? I thought that was concrete.
No, it's drywall.
Oh, it is. Then there you go.
I don't see it, guys.
It is over.
Use your
on
binoculars.
that side.
I don't have them. I said that this morning.
No, there's one right there. See it?
Oh, there's
Exit
one over there
to
too?
the left.
Oh, there's multiple.
Yeah.
I read it. There's multiple.
Oh well.
Oh well.
It's fine.
It happens.
Yeah,
And we've seen
they
it in
said there was a
Vegas.
few.
In those big score.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, up top. Those
At
screens.
Vegas, they
Uh-huh.
have some pretty large electronic billboards
Yes.
that have a couple arrow holes in
They
them.
would stick above where that it's painted exit, not the red exit sides, but they would be up above those if they were in here, and they've had
Yeah.
some arrows in there. I've walked in and go, ooh. I don't know who did that.
Or in
but-
the practice ranges upstairs at Vegas that are the fancy ballrooms with like
Yes,
the
I always
fabric on
worry
the
ab-
walls. Yeah, those have a lot of arrow
I
holes.
am always
I
worried
like
about
when they
that.
hit those screens because they're all made with these like little electronics.
Yes.
And
Oh,
so
yeah,
it'll hit and then
little
they'll just
cells.
hang out like
They have that little
like an eyeball.
square. Yes. Please don't shoot your eyeball out.
Whoops.
Yeah, don't shoot your eyeball out.
But that's something that's amazing. I wonder if they could do that here. You got the chandeliers and you got the carpet
Oh,
in the
yeah.
practice rooms in Vegas and the ballroom. I walked in the first time like, are they for sure?
Are they sure they want us to shoot in here? Are they sure?
It's so
This is the
nice.
practice? And then the bathrooms too have the chandeliers in
Oh
there.
yeah, up there.
And this will be the last year
crazy.
at South Point,
South
too.
Point,
It
I
is.
know. Yeah,
They had enough air holes. They stopped inviting us back.
they're like, done. We're back to the horses.
I think that they're going to go to a bigger venue.
They are, yeah. That shoot is pretty rapidly expanding. We were close to breaking 5,000 archers last year, I
Wow.
believe.
Which is nuts.
It's crazy.
That's nuts.
It's insane.
And that place, it's big. When I first went in there, I was like, this place is ginormous.
Yeah.
When you've got 5,000 archers and then you add families to
And a
that.
very large majority of them also stay on site and stay at
Yes.
the hotel.
I love staying on site. So Julia and I would go by ourselves.
Mhm.
It costs a lot of money to get there. And then also if Luke is swimming somewhere, Steven stays with him. But to be there and to be able to just stay in the room there,
Yes.
you don't have to leave. I don't have to worry
they
about
have
getting in
so
a
many
car.
restaurants. They have entertainment. Like pretty much every year I'm there, I meet up with a group of kids and go to the bowling alley upstairs.
Yes, we did that the last night we were there. But I even Instacart last year is
Oh,
what I
wow.
did to get groceries in there, so we had snacks.
Bougie, bougie. So bougie.
No, you got on to me because this
She did
year,
valet, too.
Not this year.
Renan, when was the last time?
just
Do you guys
fancy,
do
Scott.
do you guys do valet at South Point?
No,
Okay,
usually
hold
not.
on.
See, there we
but
go.
again, in my defense, it's Julia and I going into the car garage and
Yeah.
everything. So
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's reasonable.
She's got Cody with her. She's got
Yeah.
her dad with
Nobody
her.
gonna mess with him.
Right.
That's
no,
true.
nobody's gonna mess
That's
with
true.
Cody. That's for sure.
Nobody's messing with Wendy either.
No,
Let's just be
that's
clear.
also true.
Let's be clear.
I cannot carry on an airplane.
But you can stab.
So.
You could pick something up and stab somebody.
Because my 7 knives I had to take out of my purse.
7
I had
knives.
7.
How do you not
So
hurt
for
yourself?
for our honeymoon, we're on the way to the airport.
Oh goodness.
And Steven says, did you get the knives out of your purse? I'm like, oh, crap. So I open up my purse and I take one out. 2 out. I finally got down to 7 of them. And he's like,
Oh goodness.
and even now, we'll go somewhere and I'll see some kind of knife in like a gas station. I'm like, oh, I need to cut some rope. Oh, that one looks like it'd be good. I'll just grab that one. And he's like, did you buy another knife? I'm like, this gas station. He's like, how much did that cost?
I think
It's all
we
right.
are on our last makeup in, I believe.
All right. So maybe the last 3 arrows, maybe less.
Yes.
And then we get to we're going to get the eliminations going. That is scheduled for
Countdown, 1
1
p.m.
o'clock,
1 o'clock.
or it said if they were ready,
It
it'll
did
start
not
30
say-
minutes
it
30
did
minutes
not
after
say
it's ready.
If they were ready. Most of the time when they do 1 p.m. or 30 minutes after, it means that if it falls to where it would be after 1 o'clock, it's that 30 minutes after.
Oh, okay. So it
Yeah.
won't start before 1.
It
Yeah.
should not.
I don't know. that would make it exciting. Have kids come running in here.
Scramble.
We are starting
We
in
are starting
T-minus
now.
10 seconds. Get your butts in here.
Food hanging out of their mouth, trying to grab arrows from somebody behind.
Go crap.
That'd be awful. Oh my,
would.
where you talk about heartbeat and the
Oh,
heart rate,
goodness.
there would be no way to calm that heart rate down.
No.
Do you worry about your heart rate whenever you step up to the line?
It depends. If it's a high pressure, high stress situation like a shoot down, it's gonna be there. The nerves are gonna be there. For me, it's less of controlling the nerves and getting rid of the nerves, but more of how do I cope with it and how do I make a strong shot while I'm nervous.
And then I have talked about that you are a senior. That does
I'm a
not.
junior.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
you're in the senior
you're-
division.
senior
and that's
division,
what I wanted
sorry.
to clarify is that when we say senior here at this tournament does not mean you're a senior in high school. How old are you?
I am 16, so I'm a junior in high school.
Awesome. 16, junior in high school, just shot a 600 at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo archery competition. No boy has done that here. I probably need to stop
Do we need a
saying
counter
that.
of how many times you've said that?
Stop it,
Wow,
Rendon. I thought you
Wendy.
were my friend.
Wow, Wendy.
That's all right. That's all right. Then we'll just step up their game next time.
That's
all
what
there
I'm
is to
saying.
it.
Come on, boys.
Bring it. Is that what you say?
Bring it.
Come
on.
Bring it.
She's not scared.
So, Rendon, I did talk to Kyle kind of organizes all
Yes.
of this,
Kyle
and,
Walker.
and said, I think we need to have like a records book for the rodeo.
I would love that.
And
That
so
would be
he's
awesome.
like, that is a good idea. And I was like, well, it's been said, so you're gonna have to make it happen. They have all the data, so they could look
Yes,
at all
he
the
said
data.
that they still have all of it.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
So I mean, I know that nobody shot a 600, so that's easy.
Records are always amazing because it just gives you something else to strive for.
Yes.
It gives
Yes.
you, even if you focus less on your competition and focus on, I'm going to have a chance at this, you know? It's
And I
one
know
more thing.
Julia has done that with field, like in certain
Yes.
situations, like, ooh, I think I can beat that.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though there may only be a couple people in the division.
Yeah, and she likes even state outdoor where, she can come away. Or like this last year, I didn't even look at records or tell her ahead of time. And then
I
afterwards,
usually
I'm
don't
like,
look at them.
Yeah.
No, I don't look at them.
like
They'll get in
giving
my
that
head.
added pressure.
No.
But when she goes, I didn't shoot as well, I was like, oh, well, you beat the record in this. I was like, it's that
She's
way
like,
it kind of gives her a little
I shot
bit.
okay.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
he's like, you broke a record.
Just something to kind of get the mind off of.
Yes.
I didn't shoot my personal best. I didn't shoot the best that I could have, and because we go through that a lot.
I understand that. I understand that. I am one of the people who has a very, very perfectionist mind.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of archers are like that. I think archery causes that a little bit. But the perfectionist mindset doesn't always help you. So learning that, hey, I did well, even if it wasn't perfect, even if it wasn't the absolute best I could have done, I did well.
That is true. I mean, that is definitely something in archery that, some of the best archers are their worst. Worst critic. They're
Yes,
the worst. That's what gets
absolutely.
in their head. Like,
Yep.
I heard a coach say that, even when you have a bad shot, it hits. Whatever it hits, it was good enough. Move on.
Yep.
Yes, I did hear
Because
that
sometimes
too.
it's hard to move on because you start hyper focusing on that one stupid shot.
Absolutely.
That
you know.
comes from Penny, doesn't it?
Yep.
It's good enough.
Good enough. And then you have Matthew Parmenter. That what was he said
The shot of bliss.
the shot of bliss.
Shot of bliss.
He says he'll even go to bed going, oh, that one shot felt so good, so good.
You just have to learn to analyze a shot and say, okay, why is this shot not where I wanted it? Okay, I know where I made a mistake. Move on, make the shot perfect next time, fix the mistake you made.
Yep.
See, I think Rendon when it came down to like that last arrow, I think she half shafted just to make her mom stress. I think
I
she
told you,
knew that she
Scott.
could.
You
I
can do
know
a little
she.
drama.
Yeah, she's like, you know what? I'm just going to catch the line on this one.
Make Scott sweat in his boots up here.
Like I wasn't that nervous, but then you shot it. I'm like,
Yeah, he
okay,
was
no,
up
it looks
there.
good. It looks
And
good.
then at one point, you looked at the wrong target.
Oh, I did. I looked at the wrong target. I was like,
Oh,
wow.
Scott, wrong target. He was
Like,
like, oh, I'm looking at the wrong
He
target.
goes, she goes, I think it was next. I'm like, no, I think she just caught it.
Yeah.
I would have really panicked if it was like sitting in the middle of the,
I
9.
could not believe
yeah.
he.
That's
That's
easy.
funny.
Easy to do.
It is
Easy
easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
I've even done it in swimming where I'm videoing Luke. Like, go, look, go, look. Oh, what's going on? Why is he slowing down?
Oh,
Hey,
crap.
that's the wrong kid. Mom, did you video my race?
Yeah.
Not really.
Part of it.
Yeah, just pretend that's you.
Part of it.
Just pretend that's you.
Oh man! So
Well-
you can that shot that you're seeing right now. The committee members are turning in their scorecards and the touchpads. That's a swimming term. The tablets and verifying scores. It takes all of seconds for them to do so.
Scott's
thanks
dancing in the
to-
background.
Yeah,
No,
oh,
I'm
my
giving
word.
her rabbit ears. Look, see, check it out.
Oh, to Jacqueline. Poor Jacqueline. As much as she does for us, and you're going to do that to her.
She's part of the
Anyway.
family.
Yes, you can see Mr. Honacki in his mint green shirt right there. He is verifying what is on the tablet to the paper scorecards. It's all about accountability and making sure everything matches. Once that is done and the line has dwindled down to those few volunteers that are there, once that is done, the brackets will start to be put in place and finals will begin at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Well, I don't know if we got to keep everybody on, but you guys are welcome to keep talking.
Yep.
But-
you
but,
can stay if you want, or
Go ahead. You can mute me. I'm going to go get some things together.
okay.
All right.
All right, Scott is out. So
Drama-free.
Yeah, drama free. Thank you very much. Yes. So they are going to start talking about and confirming, is this going to be for compound? Is compound going to shoot first to get down to those last 4 because there are 8 compound archers in each division? Or are they just going to start everybody and have it dwindle down? Most of the time, I don't know what Scott's doing because we just lost some light and it's flickering now. I don't like that. But he's here and we still have drama, even though he is not talking.
Goodness.
So once we know that, they will go ahead and prepare everything for that. We do have the top 4 in each division, in each class. I even see the...
Here come the podiums to stand on for gold medal matches.
Yes, that's right. We have those platforms being pulled out right now for the gold medal matches for the senior divisions. And that will be in each class, bow class. The seniors will be on those platforms. The green line in the middle, that matches the shooting line that is on the ground. That is the line that will be straddled by the archers. You can already see the 2 monitors that are down on the floor. Those monitors show the targets that the archers will be shooting at. So they will be able to see their shot. There won't even be a need for them to break out their binos. Each archer during this part can have the opportunity to have a coach with them, and they will also have an agent who will be down and checking the scores because the judges will be scoring, but they will have an agent that will be downrange and verifying the scores and confirming and be on hand. So maybe there's a discrepancy. No, I think that arrow was in.
I usually hear it called the archer's advocate or the arrow advocate.
Yep,
so,
absolutely.
Advocating for the archer's score.
That's right.
It's very, very similar, if anybody's familiar with it, to the Lancaster shoot-up format.
I love it. You said Lancaster instead of Lancaster.
Lancaster? Lancaster.
Lancaster. We're from Texas. We're Texas girls. It's Lancaster.
It's Lancaster.
I call up there and they're like, Lancaster. I'm like, did I call the right place?
Did I call the right city?
It's terrible. Scott talks about my accent all the time. I don't think I have one, but... So the excitement is starting to gear up, at least with the committee. And I'm sorry, we've had gnats, and I swear yesterday your dad was making fun of me.
I haven't seen them. I think they're just on you.
There was one that landed on my microphone, and I could see it. And I thought it was about to go in my mouth, so I started having a fit.
They just love you. You're so sweet.
Oh, my word. And I thought that they were fruit flies. And so I covered up my stuff, and no. So I have a banana that's unopened. And Scott killed one on my banana yesterday. Yeah,
scary.
Thanks a lot. But I've even covered up, and so it's still. We had them here Friday night when we were setting up. Scott and I are like, we look like we're having fits. Yesterday, same thing. Thank goodness the cameras were not on us as much yesterday, or else it would have looked a little off. But so stay tuned because Scott and I are going to look a little different this afternoon as well because we're crazy and we like to have fun. And then it's going to be loud in here. We did, while we were playing the music earlier, one of the volunteers came up and said that there was a complaint about the music and asked for us to turn it off.
Oh, playing the music over the speakers?
Yes.
I wondered why they cut that off halfway through yesterday. I was enjoying it.
I tried to explain that most of the time music is being played at most of the tournaments that we go to, if not all of them.
The biggest indoor archery tournament in the world, Vegas, they have music playing.
Yes, yes. So we are bringing that back during the elimination rounds this afternoon.
Good.
So, yes. All right. I started hearing Scott. He's like hollering in the background. I don't know who he was hollering
Causing
at.
drama.
Normally he's hollering at me, but
Wendy!
Yes. He was even hollering through text yesterday. So all of this is volunteer run. We are very thankful for each and every one of them, from the people who are cooking to the people who are scoring to the people who are moving everything around. It has been very nicely done.
Yes.
Very organized.
This is my 3rd year coming to this shoot, and I have never had a negative experience with any of these volunteers. They are always amazing. They're always excited, happy to be here. And constantly, like especially yesterday and this morning, I've just seen archers walking up to volunteers saying, thank you for being here. Thank you for running this. And I really do think that these volunteers are the reason that this shoot has expanded and has become the big deal that it is.
So do you ever have any of the volunteers make a connection with you? Or
Yeah. So
how does that make you feel?
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It means a lot to me, and it's pretty crazy that the two guys that scored my bail the first year I came here 3 years ago still remembering me and said, "Hey, Rendon, how you shooting today?"
That's exactly what I told Kyle. Kyle is down there, and that is the one thing that I said. That guy that was here with Julia, this is our 3rd year. He is here again today. And that for them to come up and talk and ask, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
And they'll say, "I don't know if you remember me." Yes, of course we do.
Of course we do.
How does that make your parents feel?
Oh, I'm sure they love it. They love these guys. They always stop and say thank you. We're all incredibly thankful for how much work they put into this, and it's a lot of work.
By having them make that connection with you, does that make you feel valued and that, you're wanted to be here?
Oh, absolutely. And you can tell with these guys, their positive attitude, everything that they've been doing, they know that this is a valuable part of the Livestock Show and that they want this to grow and continue in the future, which is exactly why we have the nice big facility that we have today.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the coaches got in online and said it's going to be huge next year. Do you think that it's going to grow even more? So if people have more notice now that they know that the time has changed,
yes,
and seeing everything that's online, and I said with word of mouth, because we go to tournaments and we're like, oh, that one, I don't know, we're not going to go back to that one, it was like
it happens.
And then we go to others and we're like, wow, it's family friendly. It's, even with Vegas, you think of Vegas not being family friendly.
Yeah, but
that
it
tournament
is. That has one of the best competitive atmospheres.
And
it's
having
amazing.
this one, did you see the little playground?
Yeah,
that
for
they
the
put over there?
littles out there.
Yes,
that's
I thought it was like a
perfect.
dog thing whenever I got here on Friday, but I was like, oh, cool, we're gonna have a dog show over here. I did not know. Well, I saw it looks like a little slant thing. It had holes in it, not the
little like obstacle course looking thing.
Yes. I was thinking like for dogs. Then I was, told that no, that's for kids. I was like, oh, that makes more sense now.
Oh. You can just give the littles who have older siblings out here something to do, because I'll be honest, if you're not into it, archery is not the most fun sport to watch.
It would be boring and long.
Yes.
And when are we going to leave? When are we done? I want to go. I can't even imagine.
Absolutely. I'm thankful I don't have any little siblings. They would hate me.
Julia is the little sibling.
Yeah.
So
she gets her way.
Sometimes. All right. They are setting up our cameras because all of that is going to switch as to what is going to be down on the ground and what you will be able to see from home or if you're at work, wherever you may be.
And I can give y'all a little bit of insight. So from the archer's perspective, on these podium shoot-offs, the archers are standing on an elevated platform. Little, not unstable, but a little intimidating.
Yeah.
Little intimidating.
Well, that's shaky, but yeah.
It puts you a little bit more front and center. It puts more spotlight and attention on you. You look downrange, you see your target. Usually your target has a spotlight on it. You see a monitor on the ground in front of you that shows your target, your arrows. You can see your scores very clearly. You can see your opponent's scores very clearly. And there's usually an announcer in the background calling out, Brooks, 10, whatever it is. Opponent, 10. And they call out the
I think
scores.
we're going to have that again today. The only thing is like turning down the lights. I don't think we can.
I don't think we'll turn down the lights in here. Sometimes whenever they have these shoot-offs, they turn the lights off and have a spotlight on the archer and a spotlight on the target, which is scary.
Yes.
But really, all this format is creating a pressure cooker, intense competition.
And wow, the flip charts that are going
And the flip
up,
charts.
they are normally down at the bottom. I am watching them over to the right. They are now going to be right above your target.
So they are putting up scorecards and flip charts. So after every end you score in the shoot-offs before the big matches, you will be able to see your running total and your opponent's running total.
Clearly.
It's very clearly in your face.
But what does bring a little bit of humor to this is to watch the adults or maybe your advocate, whoever is down there, working on those scores because you have to flip the numbers a
scores
certain
are
way.
so awkward.
Threes always almost come out as E's.
Yeah.
They're
It's-
backwards.
With the way those scores is, it's the way the font and the numbers is. You have to take a step back and, is that a 2? Am I sure that's a 2? Am I sure that's a 3? Yeah,
in my head,
I think I am.
Or not in my head, but right down in front of me, I'll write, like skywrite a 3. Okay, it's got to go this way.
That might help me out. I might have to start doing that.
I'm telling you, because I don't want to look like an idiot out there. And that's one thing you'll hear me say with Sky, like, you made me look like an idiot. Don't do that. And, or maybe sound like an idiot. But that's what I do to help myself not look like an idiot is I'll write in front of me, skywrite, okay, it's 3, goes like this. So.
Yep.
Ew.
Did you just kill another gnat on your banana?
But I had it on the paper towel.
Oh, it's on a
so
napkin. It's okay. It's okay.
That was my saving grace today was I brought a napkin to put over everything.
Smart.
Because one got my coffee yesterday. And I love my coffee. And to have it in my coffee, I was not drinking it.
It's protein.
It's
protein.
No. Now, I have been in Yoakum, Texas at the vet there and having cattle dehorned.
Oh,
and
yeah.
sat on a trailer. There's a Dairy Queen, or there was a Dairy Queen right on the other side of the vet. And I have sat on the back of the trailer while they were being dehorned and eaten my hamburger. Not bother me at all. But the flies.
That's
can't
fair
do it.
enough. That's fair enough.
Or showing cattle having the show box behind an animal and they're back there doing their business. I'm sitting on the show box eating what you got to eat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it looks like it is starting to come together as I look into the camera there. Yeah, Rendon and I kind of look like little birdies popping up.
Look above our monitor.
Or whack-a-mole, how little moles go up. Trying to see all the different changes that are going on. All right, folks, I think it's probably about time for us to take a break until that 1 o'clock time. There's about an hour and 20 minutes left. We've got Jacqueline up here that if she wants to turn that off online until the next, she's like, oh, hold on, let me wait. Until the finals begin. That will be all.
Cool.
All right, thank
if we
you.
can find it.